Porous, yeah, like porous.
Yeah, porous.
Yeah, like porous, like there's pores in something, so the thing is porous. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Let's see here. Let me pull up. Was this Essays on Life Itself or Turvey or whatever?
Essays on life
Essay.
itself.
I see. Okay, here we go. Found it. Okay, let me just
So there's
pull
sort
up.
of two parts to it.
Yeah, this is just a smart thing to bring up.
Yeah, I call it Rosen's porosification argument. Okay.
Let's see.
It's going to be the one where it's like the more porous the partition becomes.
Here we go. Okay, so I think this is it.
Yeah, so it would be like if you
So I'm on
control
page
left,
88. Let's see.
yeah, if you control left, it's going to be the first one, the second one, and the third one, like the first three mentions.
So let's see here. As we've
So
seen, the cost of these. Let's see here.
it talks about like von Neumann's. Like,
Causality. Von Neumann. Yeah.
I'm sure you're familiar with like von Neumann's like sort of argument here, like that like an epistemic cut needs to be placed somewhere between like system and observer, right? But it's like rather arbitrary where it's placed, right?
Yeah.
And like well, yeah, Patty talks about it. Patty calls it an epistemic cut, right? Rather than an ontological cut, but calls it epistemic cut, and is like it's basically like Schrodinger's cat or Maxwell's demon. They force you to basically specify, right? Or make that establish an epistemic cut somewhere, right? But it's like, there's all these like different ways, right? Like from Schrodinger's cat, right? Like there's all these different places where you can put it, right? And different things follow. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So
let's see here. As you've seen, the cause of these sweeping assertions is to force the observer, i.e. the subjective, to intrude into the objective world. And indeed, in a way which makes the intrusion itself objective. We are thus mandated to do precisely the thing which objectivity denies, namely,
you're
to
you're
evolve
down there.
subjective.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the very first.
I thought you were reading the first mention first.
Oh, am
Because
I?
it sort of lays out the argument first.
Okay, yeah, so let me go back here. This is page 86 now. Okay. Causality and the measurement problem. As you've used so I'm just going to read this.
You can go really
here.
fast. The first paragraph is like the only really important part is the last sentence of the first paragraph,
The truth is the whole.
Truth as a whole, where you see that.
It's a oh, never mind. It's a Hegel joke.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Peikoff
That
says
Peikoff
that too.
accepts. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Peikoff actually agrees. The truth is the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here.
It's like Peikoff is like basically invoking impredicativity, really. He's all about impredicativity and understanding objectivism, especially. I think like
he's in a sense of like a holistic system where you can't reduce it to its parts. In a sense, yeah.
If you look like
everything is defined in the context of a whole.
I have like a quote from Understanding Objectivism where he literally like almost word for word describes what Rosen's saying. Like you have to find like you have to see the whole when you're looking at the part and see the part when you're looking at the whole, right? And like you're oscillating back and forth,
Yeah.
Like and he calls that the essence of the objectivist methodology. So I thought that was like a very important connection. But anyways.
Oh, let's see here.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. In these terms, the partition between what is objective and what is not transmutes into the partition between a system and an observer. That partition has been most extensively and most urgently discussed in the context of quantum theory, and that from its very earliest days. That continuing discussion has been, to say the least, inconclusive. But several things have emerged from it, which bear on our present considerations. 1. Where the partition between system and observer is drawn is entirely arbitrary. 2. Wherever the partition is drawn, it always seems to leave some physics, i.e. something public or objective, on the wrong side of it,
Like, because you can't
And
get the
3.
measurement fully on the objective side, right? You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. Well, I mean, yeah, you're going to be requiring
Because the
something to
measurement
be both
is what
outside.
the measurement is, like the partition itself, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So you're going to have to kind of push the boundary over a little bit again in order to get that. So you can never like you have to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
at once outside of the subject and at its heart,
And
so to
that's why it's
speak.
arbitrary where you place it, basically.
Mm.
It's never like exhaustive.
And so the more, and number 3, and the and 3, the more we admit into the objective or public side, the more porous the partition itself seems to become. And it goes on. Again, von Neumann again, like
That's the
quantum
really important
mechanics.
point. That's a really important
Let's
point.
see. The measurement problem was, for instance, the central theme of von Neumann's 1955 early monograph on quantum theory. So much so that at least a third of its pages are devoted to it. The root of the problem, of course, lay in the fact that, at the quantum level, observation apparently had to be invoked on account, to account for the result of observation. This immediately flies in the face of objectivity itself.
Yeah, the symbolic result, the initial conditions, like you plug into the dynamical equations, you know?
Uh, Again, so I would say actually, when it comes to this whole notion of observation,
Mm.
I mean, certain people say that, okay, well, this implies like some kind of like subjectivity in the sense of like a mind. I'm
Yeah.
actually quite much more hesitant about this
No,
idea.
of course. It's just like
Yeah.
from the quantum mechanics formalism, based in like time reversible equations, right?
Yeah.
It can't,
Yeah. These
it can't
isotropic.
account,
Yeah.
yeah, it can't account for, the irreversible measurement process,
Mm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's
But it needs it.
uh
You like it has built-in measurement problems, quantum mechanics, right? You can't.
mm,
It's not decidable fully by the rules. Like you have to like in order to proceed, you have to like step outside the formalism and
yeah.
decide.
You have to
You know?
choose some kind of
Yeah,
starting in the same way that
and that's what's
in a
beautiful about
space.
quantum mechanics. Really, there's no measurement problems in classical mechanics, right?
Mm.
Because it's fully decidable. Like it.
Everything has a coordinate already predetermined, basically, so you could go from
Yeah,
anywhere. You don't have any arbitrary
yeah.
points.
And quantum mechanics has like inbuilt measurement problems. It's like telling you like, no, you got to exit the formalism. You know, I find that pretty cool. But that's a tangential point.
Here, I'm going to go to the second slide here. We have seen, okay, as we've seen, the cost of these sweeping assertions is to force the observer, i.e. the subjective, to intrude into the objective world, and indeed in a way which makes the intrusion itself objective. We are thus mandated to do precisely the thing which objectivity denies, namely, to involve the subjective observer in accounting for what is observed.
Yeah, by
That is,
objectivity, he's like talking about the contemporary view of objectivity, which he equates with context independence, right? And he's like, the whole book, he's like, oh, that's like the wrong view,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Let's see here. That is, the boundary between subjective and objective has become porous. And it is equally clear that the more we try to include on the objective side of our boundary, i.e., the more microscopic a view we take, and the more of, quote, the body of the observer, end quote, we include in it, the more
Yeah.
porous it gets, the less of a separation it actually makes. The real problem
Patsy also
lies
talks
in
all about
trying.
this, like with Maxwell's demon and Schrodinger's cat and all that.
Are all of these Jews?
What?
Like, yeah, you need to like, yeah, it's like you could have only gotten that idea from Benjamin Netanyahu. Like that's all.
Alright.
That's this. Yeah. Use that famous meme. Okay. Yeah. All these names. Okay. Okay, where was I? Okay, the real problem lies in trying to tie objectivity irrevocably to a putative notion of state, and thereby restricting causality to pertain only to A, the determination of observables, and B, the determination of state transitions by state. In fact, causality, in the original Aristotelian sense, means much more than this. Accordingly, we shall argue that any science which mandates this, including quantum theory, must be a very special science, in particular, it will have its own version of the measurement problem, or of the life organism problem, or the mind-body problem. Of course, in the above few pages, we can hardly do justice to the ramifications of the measurement problem. Survey, so yeah, okay. Let's see here. Something mathematical, its idea, plus the corruption occasioned by the idiot. A communist development of Confronting Idealism. Okay, well, the real thing was not regarded as mathematical per se. The math, that was on a lower level slightly, but that's okay for now. Still okay. Universal comprehensive systems, entailment, inferential entailment, no less compelling than the causal relations. Okay.
Oh, you're all the way.
Yeah, I'm just
You're
kind
all-
of browsing right now. The
okay.
Bertrand
Yeah,
Russell,
I think.
okay, yeah. Now he's talking about predicativity and the like. Okay, so
Yeah, that like in that chapter he goes on to go like talk about how the measurement problems really they're
no
just
one else wants to get on camera.
they're
No one else.
they're just forcing
Why?
you to basically refer to the larger system to be
Mhm,
informed,
mhm,
about the smaller system, right? So like it invokes impredicativity. But
mhm,
that's not the point here, right? The point is his porcification argument,
mhm.
right? And also that ties into what he says later on. If you control F for drawn, Drawn.
Mhm.
Let me see. It's like where he's talking about, yes, like in simplest terms, the measurement problem requires a partition be drawn between observer and observed. What is that the one we're just reading? Well, it's like
Let's
it's,
see.
it's a similar one, but see, it's like it's bringing it back. Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Yes, it's bringing it back here. Yes.
It should be noted that there are many deep parallels between the dichotomy we have drawn between simple predicative and complex impredicative, and the dichotomy between finite and infinite. Predicativity is just not big. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Systems such as the fur, but only by subjective course coordinate system. And
She
better
doesn't
clues
want
than
to get on
K.
camera because he looks homeless.
Yes, they both found like I don't know where you're reading, but
Let's see. Drawn from premise K. K. It's drawn between the face particle K.
where are you?
Teaching. Okay. I'm just kind of. Here we go. Here we go. No. We just read this. Hang on.
You on page 153, like on the PDF page?
See one. I'm on page 153 right now.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, there's
Okay.
some
Here we
stuff.
go. Got it.
Yeah,
I got it
there's
right
some
now.
stuff here, but like this is not the right chapter, I think. But like, there's some stuff here that's important to the argument, right? And this on
Okay.
this
Let's
page
see.
in particular. Just like go fast through this.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna scroll up just slightly just to get some context. Back in let's so yes, but there's some state.
Yeah, the measurement problem arises because the standard formulations and interpretations of quantum mechanics, which are presumed to hold for a system being measured, do not appear to hold for the new system consisting of the measured system plus an observer. It is a curious problem. Yes. In the words of Despaignat, is considered a non-existent or trivial by an impressive body of theoretical physicists and presenting an almost insurmountable difficulties by a somewhat lesser but steadily growing number of their colleagues. Yes, the situation is somewhat analogous to the reaction of mathematicians and philosophers to Zeno's paradoxes over the years.
Mhm,
Yeah, he's just talking about how
mhm.
important it is. Yeah.
See here.
Yeah, but he's talking about like the mind being brain problem or the measurement problem or like
Mhm.
all these sort of like partitions, right? They both flounder in the face of the impossibility of expressing an impredicativity in purely syntactic predicative terms.
Let's see.
Ugh.
Yes, the presumed partition which absolutely separates objective physical reality from a subjective observer has to be drawn so that the requisite impredicativities fall outside the objective part and are hence are put entirely into the observer. Indeed, the presumed partition is itself impredicative. Like, uh, Yeah, but that's basically like, oh yeah, but measurement processes or feature extractions lead either to infinite regresses or to impredicativity
Mm.
somewhere. That's like the argument you've read before, I think.
Yeah,
The regressing, like the only alternative being impredicativities, right?
yeah. That was regarding the fact that no system could be essentially you can't get complexity from uh, these simple predicativities essentially. So you need, in order for any of this to make sense, you need to have the because you'll have it like it's essentially you can't just keep on adding a bit with bit with bit with bit.
Yeah,
You'll never get that loop around itself in order to constitute the thing that's uh, uh,
right.
predicative.
But yeah, you see, he said
Yeah.
he talks multiple times throughout essays in life itself about like the presupposition that a sharp line can be drawn between objective reality and subjectivities of a quote unquote structuring mind. Da da da.
Mhm.
Such a line would only leave us with particularities. It would expunge all classifications and eliminate all notions of surrogacy. Yeah. Uh, yeah. I concluded that such a presumed partition has itself no objective existence. It's an epistemic cut. Whatever. This is not the important part. It's
Mhm.
the important part is yes on page 181, which is the conclusions drawn from, I think this is, what chapter is this? Chapter
181 of
10.
the PDF or the
Yeah,
text?
the PDF, yeah. Chapter 10 on syntactics and semantics in languages.
Okay, let's
It's a
see
very, very
here.
important chapter, but
Here we go. Some general conclusions. Okay, I'm just going to look at this real quick. Hang on. Let me just close my door.
okay.
Gee, why do you never turn on your camera?
My camera's broken on my phone. My
Oh
front.
shit.
That's an excuse. Yeah, that's an excuse. There's
What's this
two.
excuse?
Look, it's fucking broken, bro.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
use your
fucked.
impredicativities and your
Look at
predicate.
it. Look, it's broken.
Oh my god, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it's broken, bro. You can't even see me. So yeah.
Like, yeah, perception of the visual world right here. It's like Gibson's refuted. It's like all I
Like
see are sensa.
my camera's cracked, but then I got my screen fixed over the cracked
Here,
camera. I didn't get my camera fixed, so it's
here,
just
I'll
broken.
I'll I'll make sure pessimistic idealism isn't alone. I'll turn on my camera. My camera's also kind of shit.
I would have my camera on before, like if you saw some of Zulu's like streams a little bit ago.
Have we ever met before
I don't think so. Where are you
on
from?
Discord? No, like or on Discord that is.
Oh, on Discord. I don't think so.
It's Sakura, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Don't you
I've
know
been on
me?
Discord since 20. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I've been on Discord since 2019. I think 2018, 2019. No, wait, much older than that. That's when I started my second account. Um, before that got banned.
What
Yeah.
was your other
I'm
account's
not going to
name?
go into that. My
Or
first one was
180, 183. Like it's like you want to look at
yeah.
the start of some general conclusions, like the first couple paragraphs of that until he gets like to basically the where he's talking about the modeling diagram. You can skip that stuff.
Yeah.
The modeling relation stuff, you can skip all that and then go down to 183 on a number of conclusions can be drawn. You know what I'm saying? So you can
Okay.
skip all that
Yeah.
stuff in the middle.
I want to see what he has to say though. Okay, let's see. Is Cornelius the many other claims? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Reductionism. Yeah, I
Reductionism.
completely agree with them though. Like you can't reduce semantics to syntax. Yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty
yeah.
obvious, right?
So yeah, I mean it's obvious, and then of course people cope and say like,
So
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So it's like the assumption is that you can sort of fractionate syntax of a language from its semantics and like without loss, right? Without losing any
yeah, without loss
information.
of any kind of meaning, and then build it back up again.
Right, yeah. So it's saying that they're equivocal, like they're conflating. And that's true. Like in a formalism, well, in a sense, it's true in a sense because in a formalism there is no distinction between syntax and semantics. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
it's like doesn't even. Yeah, exactly. There's no distinction for the system itself. It doesn't even know what the because
Yes.
it's not conscious of such distinction in the first place. It's just like, duh.
Because it's just all
Yeah,
syntax, and it's semantics is just equal to like it's
but it doesn't
equivalent.
even know itself as having it
Yeah.
just syntax. So that's the thing. Let's see. Let me go back here.
It's just gonna lead into what we were talking about last time, G.
Yeah, I just wanna run my like understanding of Rosen's argument here by him and like yeah, just continue. Idealism. Pessimistic.
Okay, let's see here. I'm Ryan, by the way. Have I told you my name?
Ryan, okay, yeah, that's better.
And is your name G?
No,
People call him by
it's
that name, but
it's Alex, but everybody calls me G, and
Why
like
is that? What? It's
it's just
because he's
like
because he's a
like
Miami
yeah.
kid, bro.
ah
He's from the hood, you
okay.
know.
Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Um, so let's begin by partition. Okay. Let us begin by noting that a partition of a universe of discourse into two parts, e.g., a world of propositions, into true ones and false ones, creates the basis for an impredicativity. Okay, here we go. For any proposition pertaining to that partition itself, for which that partition is a referent, belongs to that world and accordingly must fall into one class or the other.
Did you
At this,
scroll up to get context or something? Or are you
I'm on
looking
page
down?
167
Oh.
of the text, page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's see here. But yeah, this is just some context. That's
So
what
you read
I
all
remember
this.
reading this
You
before.
read all this stuff about drawing a line, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And so let's see here for any participant. Okay, reference belongs to okay. Here is the vicious circle. Okay, don't think of it that way, but you get the point. At the root of all the classic paradoxes, while at the same time it is an essential part of classical real and complex analysis. Much of topology, especially metric topology, and of measure theory, hence stochastics. That is, at root, the main reason these parts of mathematics are simply unformalizable. They can be neither described to a machine as software nor generated by such a machine software. Impredicativities are simply part of the
You don't have to read
semantic.
it. You don't have to read it all out loud, by the way.
I'm going to read it out loud. No, I'm just kidding. Okay,
It's for the sake of setting up the argument.
yeah,
Just
exactly. Let's see. The impressive. These, in turn, can only be expressed syntactically in terms of infinitely long propositions. Okay. But sophisticated. Okay. Side. What is it to see the church these lengths of version to seniors will the identification of an effective process with algorithms computability relies on the creation of an external referent, a machine that executes the process. Creates a modeling between the machine and the purely process. Machine that chooses there is different coding. Where's the RC code? Okay, so we have pair. Okay. Okay. Let's start the encoding process. Okay. That process, so that pair coding that entails the encoding. Okay, so we have it's like a doubling up. Effective. Same thing. Okay, the triple form again. Okay. So we have an infinity series. Yes. Okay. Breaking up this another way. Okay. Okay. Yeah. We can't. Yeah. We'll never get that loop. It's interesting because in my paper that I submitted for Boston College to get in for my master's, and my argument against the identity theory of mind, I actually outlined
You mean like the diaphanous view?
the one that holds that um, like mental states or this perception of something, for instance, like so the activity of perceiving, it's something purely like physical in the sense that it is identical with some kind of physical, it could be brain or it could be even bodily, for instance, some kind of process.
Okay.
There is not a causal relation, nor a
Mhm.
supervenience relation. It just
Okay.
is the thing. But one of the arguments that I give, it essentially is if we believe that no perceptive process or no process of percipience, no, by process here I simply mean just like the activity of perceiving. So whenever you perceive something, and that perceiving is something different from what you perceive. You don't perceive your own process of percipience. You're always perceiving the world,
Well,
in a sense.
I
Do
don't
you
know if
agree?
I would agree with that from an ecological psychologist perspective. Like
Um,
that latter proposition. Like I might agree with the first one, but not the latter one.
by like, okay, well, let me put it this way: it cannot be exhausted by it. So you're
Yeah.
when you're
Well,
when you're
yeah, because
thinking, you're always,
I mean, like, yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
just
I
like
think
to
you
be
would agree with that, though.
yeah, I'm just talking about like perception, action, mutuality. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, okay, when you think of something, when you perceive something,
Mhm.
there is something there to perceive,
All right.
and that something is
And
not
just
the
like
same thing as
when
your
I sit
activity
on
of perceiving.
something, there's something there for me to sit on. Yeah.
Exactly, and that thing is not your sitting.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't sit on sitting, nor can
Yeah.
you.
I can sit on a
Uh,
sit onable thing.
yeah, but you can't sit on sitting. You have to.
Yeah.
You can't sit on a sitting on a sitting on a sitting. There has to be
Yeah.
something there to sit on.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, and yeah, but in one of the arguments, it's this whole notion of like, okay, these loops and things like that, trying to get this circle to come around, but never can get it with these predicativities. It's something that's actually the diagram. I'll just post it in the chat. Right, it won't make any sense in without the essay,
Like
but
it seems like at first you were just talking about the paradox of mechanical reason, you know? Like it seems like you talk about that a lot,
here we go.
like
Here we
in
go. Here
different
we go.
forms. There's different forms of it.
I could actually just send this. This is the uh let's see, is this the same? Well, I might have a typo in here,
I'm really
but that's
curious
okay.
on how you're gonna loop this back to what we were talking about pessimistic G after you left last time.
Yes, it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna ask him for. I'm gonna turn pessimistic into a realist, bro. Watch.
Yeah, optimistic realism. That's what it's gonna be. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Optimistic realism.
Let's see. Ghee? I don't know why I said ghee. It's a ghee.
Guy
Like Guy
Gee's.
Francone,
Francone.
dude.
Oh, I'd put G instead of ghee. G. Oh fuck. I put G. It's oh fucking A. Yeah, like that cut G. Oh,
Put it in VC text. Oh, what is this?
oh,
Perfect.
VC text. So this is like let me actually post the actual thing. I think I did
Perceptual,
submit it or send it.
perceptual states and percepta. Principle
Mhm.
of perceptual determinacy.
Yes. Okay.
Identity theory.
Oh, are is are all right. So you're just talking about like fallacy of pure self-reference, like awareness of awareness of awareness of awareness. Is that it?
Yeah, to perceive is to perceive something. What you perceive cannot be the same as your perception of it. That's one of the
Right.
things. But what are some things that are entailed by this ultimately? Well, on the one
Realism.
hand, no. It one could take it that way, but it's not sufficient.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
you're right.
sufficient.
I agree.
But there's quite a few things that you can get from it. But on the very last slide that I
I don't think
have
we
an
ever get
example.
to realism, to be clear.
But I have an illustration of different perceptual states grouped together in such a way that, okay, so let me just list the theorems basically. So the first one is a principle of perceptual determinacy, which says, quote, for any perceptual state P can neither exist nor occur unless P's perceptum, which basically just means the object that you're perceiving, either exists or occurs and is determinate. It has to be something specific. It can't be created. Um, it can't not exist. I mean, you can only perceive something that is there to be perceived. Now, the second principle that I outline is
Like
the
that.
following.
It affords perceiving. Yeah, it's there to be perceived.
Yeah, exactly. So the second one is this the principle of perceptual self-exclusion. So this is essentially the anti-pure self-reference kind of thing. No existing or occurring perceptual state either has itself as its own perceptum or is identical to its own perceptum, which is essentially just saying, okay, it cannot be you can't have a pure self-reference.
Yeah, I mean,
Otherwise,
but like the
of
eco side guys,
of
we never go like strictly like, oh, like perception object kind of thing. You know, we say like, well, we talk about it like in terms of impredicativity, like the organism perceives a system of which it is a part, right?
right, but it's not the same thing as
Right.
that entire system, right? There has to be some kind of diversity in there.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it would just be like
Yes.
of without anything that is of
Right.
anything. Yeah.
Right.
So, and then the third principle is the following, and then we start getting these ideas of loops here. Now, the principle of perceptual non-loop ability, which might take you off guard here first, but it's essentially it follows a priori from the previous two. It's this. No
Oh, yeah.
n number. What's that?
Sorry, I think I cut off for.
Oh, sorry. So it's essentially this. No n number. So just any like number. It could be 1, 2, 3, whatever. No n number with n being greater than or equal to 2 of existing or occurring perceptual states form a series of perceptual states and percepta, wherein the first is a perception of the second is a perception of the third is a perception of the fourth, and so on. The last perceptual state in the series being a perception of the first. Because again, we would have this pure self-reference. So, for instance, I have here on one of the slides here, on the one that says principal perceptual non-loopability. So in the first case, where we have the pair of the blue and the green, or the green and the blue, rather. So this is not allowed. You can't have a perceptual state that's perception of another perceptual state that's perception of the first. Can't have that. Because it would lack determinacy. It couldn't exist or occur. And I give arguments for why this is the case. Now, another example of this thing that's barred off or blocked off is a three-term scenario wherein you have a perceptual state that's perception of the blue. You have a green that's a perception of the blue that's a perception of the red one, and the red one that's a perception of the green one. Can't have that. So again, you have that loop that constitutes a pure self-reference. Can't have that.
Third
And again, we have it with the fourth case. What's that?
None. Just Talking to myself.
Really? Oh no. Let's see. So, where are we now? So, how the theory, if it were true, it would follow that these principles would have to be false, but they could be demonstrated a priori. And so, therefore, the identity theory is false, basically. But I'll show the argument in a bit. I'll just give you the argument here. If the identity theory is true, then let me just put it this way. If the identity theory is true, then there are some brain states which are, in principle, imperceptible. There are no brain states which are, in principle, imperceptible. Therefore, the identity theory is false. Or you could put it in different ways. You could say, quote, if the identity theory is true, then John cannot, in principle, perceive any existing or occurring state of Thomas's brain, whilst Thomas is perceiving any existing or occurring state of John's brain. John can, in principle, perceive any existing or occurring state of Thomas's brain, while Thomas perceives any existing or occurring state of John's brain. Therefore, the identity theory is false. And you could transpose it so it just pertains to one person and their own brain states. But on the very last slide, I illustrate these scenarios wherein you have perceptual states that are trying to perceive each other. And in one case, you're always going to get either a scenario wherein one perceptual state out of the collection is not perceived, or you're going to get a scenario wherein all three are trying to be perceived, but the thing could never exist in the first place, because you would have this problem of pure self-reference that could not actually exist in this case. So in figure 1, we have a scenario when two perceptual states are are perceiving each other, but that's just pure self-reference. So the thing can't exist. That's why it's in a red rectangle. Figure 2, it shows a green square, which means that, okay, yes, this can exist or occur. However, you notice that C in that diagram, that perceptual state right there, well, it's not itself capable of being perceived, because if it was perceived, you would have this pure self-reference, and that would be problematic. That's barred. In figure 3, you have a scenario wherein all three of these perceptual states are perceiving each other. But again, that's pure self-reference. You have the A perceiving B, B perceiving C, C perceiving A. You can't have that. So that situation cannot exist. Figure 4, you have something that can occur, but again, you're going to have one of the perceptual states left out. It's not going to be able to be perceived. And so you could continue this on and again and again and again. I go into this in much greater detail in the actual paper. But yeah, it took me 6 years, I think, to
write it.
Not this version. I began thinking about this idea back when I was an undergrad, in college, and after reading Schopenhauer, believe it or not, and it went through probably maybe 12 versions and tons of debates with people, with philosophers, Discord, and Reddit mods. God help us. Neckbeards.
It was the same as the last one you just listed.
Yeah. Yeah. People whose name begins with the letter G. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No. Yeah, I don't even know if you were like around at the time. Like, yeah, you probably I don't know how old you are, but yeah. So I think I first wrote this initial idea of an argument back in 2019. I think. Yeah. So that would have been, oh my God, almost 7 years ago. But yeah. So this just kind of reminds me of this whole talk of like predicativity and the like. But it's different though. It's not strictly speaking the same, but it does involve this whole notion of like, okay, you can't get that reach around. Horrible choice of words, but just by adding perceptual states, you're not going to be able to get that pure existing loop, because that loop in that case would be a case of pure self-reference, which we can't have. But yeah, I mean it's complicated, very complicated. But yeah, it took me a long time to work this out. Have you ever heard? Like, I personally think this argument is much better than the so-called like Mary's Room arguments. Have you ever heard that shit? Like the zombie arguments, things like that in
Oh,
philosophy of mind.
philosophical zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like supposed to be like demonstrating the disembodied mind assumption.
Basically, it's like, okay, can you have a physical system that's essentially identical body, like a physical body, so to speak, that's identical part for part with you, but it just lacks uh, like sentience, so to speak. Can you have that? Now, I think I mean, it's something certainly. I mean, for me, I can conceive of such a scenario, but only from the standpoint of
Yeah, I reject
someone
the. I
within
think
that
I reject the
system.
premise. Yeah.
So I do, in a sense, I do reject it, because when I'm conceiving it, I'm conceiving of a system wherein there is another being who is perceiving the external appearance of that supposed being that is completely devoid of any kind of so-called like inner life or whatever. But even
Also, what does
within
exactly
even
the same mean? You know,
yeah, again, too. I mean, like
there's no like strict
it
like
takes two to
equality
make
in
the same.
nature. You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it takes two to make the same.
Mm.
Um, but that's going into a whole other story about the nature of identity and difference, which is really difficult. I actually had to revise last year a bunch
Maybe,
of
maybe we should get back. We should get back to
yeah,
roast.
we probably should get back to the choose. No,
Yeah,
just
I'm curious.
I have a straight line, like straightforward line to go down. So it's
okay.
good.
I want to see
What
how
are
this plays
exactly are we
out.
trying to cover?
You'll see like
You'll see.
it'll be realized. You know, you'll see it like, oh, I'm gonna ask
Oh,
you the plot. I'm gonna ask you though. I'm gonna ask you about
okay, let's go. Okay, let's see here. Let me pull this up. Let me go back to
it.
Rosen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Ah,
explain like the upshot, right? What I think it is, what I think the upshot is, and then
mhm.
I'm gonna show you some demonstrations of that.
Okay, let's
The
see. Okay,
demonstrations are
where
going to
are
be
we?
your work. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Are we on page 169?
Let me see that.
No, I think he said 180 something.
You were reading like
Yeah, I was.
yeah, you were reading alone, so I don't know what you're reading.
184, 183, 181. I'm on 180 right now, but I was just reading through
Like
that.
you were reading about like Church's thesis and like all this stuff here, the
Hmm.
infinite regress here.
Yeah,
Yeah, none of the ways of breaking up
I'm
the
on,
where are you? 169.
yes, 169.
Oh wait, Church's thesis is this this is Rose's argument for improductivity, is it?
No, this we're covering something a little bit different right now. Just
I don't know what it is that
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I was
Surprise.
I forget.
so
I
yeah,
forget what
a
precisely it
number of
is.
conclusions, right? That's like
Yes. Hmm.
the important part.
Conclusion can be drawn from these very simple considerations. One of them is that language cannot be fractionated into a purely syntactic part and a complementary semantic part. So you can't basically, in other words, extract the matter from the form and say that the two things can be
In a
partitioned
sense,
side by side.
maybe as a metaphor. I don't know if that's analogous.
By fractionated here, he just means like, okay, uh,
Yeah.
partitioning of sorts, and like, okay, a
Yeah,
pure cut.
like isolating it and
Yeah,
like you isolate it and
treating it as something
study it
self-explained.
syntactically, right?
Sure. Into a purely syntactic part and a complementary semantic part.
Because you can fractionate it, like what you can fractionate, right? I mean, like the fragment, like if I try to fractionate x from x and y mutually entail each other, like it's not really like x and y and mutually entail. It's not fractionable, right? So I only get an impoverished fragment that's like it can't entail. It can't.
Abstraction. It
Yeah.
can't. It
But
doesn't have
like
the power within its.
from that, like playing with it like syntactically, right? I can sort of like fractionate it in like sort of by like rules, you know what I mean? Like I can manipulate it by rules, you know. I could start like fractionating it like formally, you know what I mean? It's
Sure. Yeah.
fractionable, you know?
Okay. Let's
Or
see here.
yeah.
Where was I? Here we go. That is,
Right.
there is no line that can be drawn with all syntactics falling to one side of it, and all the semantics on the other. Yeah.
Mhm.
There is, accordingly, no line that can be drawn between a part of the language that is independent of external reference and a complementary part that can or does pertain to such reference. Stated another way, we cannot identify pure syntax with objective and dismiss all the rest as subjective. A language fractionated from all its reference is perhaps something, but whatever it is neither a language nor a model of a language. In particular, if we try to fractionate a modeling diagram in such a way with all the reference apparently left to one side and all the encodings/decodings put on the other, we lose the commutativity that is the essential feature of the diagram as a whole. Instead, I argue that if one wants to fractionate, one must do so at another level, at the level of
Yes.
such diagrams or modeling relations. If one tries to fractionate the diagrams themselves, their basic properties are irretrievably lost. The same kinds of considerations on the failure of reducing semantics to syntax also bear heavily on the validity of reductionism as a strategy for probing natural systems in general. This is particularly true of the endeavor to reduce biology to contemporary physics, see life itself. The main issue, however, is that just as syntax fails to be the general, with semantics as a special case, so too do the purely predicative presuppositions underlying contemporary physics fail to be general enough to subsume biology as just a special case. So, this kind of attitude is widely regarded as vitalistic in this context. Ooh. But kind of attitude is widely regarded. But it is no more so than the non-formalizability of number theory. Stated another
Yeah.
way, contemporary physics does not yet provide enough to allow the problems of life to be well posed. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I mean, I would like certain terms,
Yeah.
things like that. I think it's kind of like meh, but no,
Right.
yeah.
So and there's also what am I thinking here? Um was it in Life Itself? I think I'm thinking of something from Life Itself, where he says, if you don't permit yourself a large enough universe of discourse for something. So I maybe want to go to that first before I explain it. Because I think that's also really important here. Universe.
Sure, yeah. If you confine yourself strictly to uh, like mud cookies, I mean, you're not
Yeah.
gonna be able to do much with that. I mean, you can't really like
Or maybe it was an essay.
explain French cooking in terms of like bonbon terre, to use that kind of like
I think a common example
yeah.
that's used to kind of convey that is like math. It's like if you restrict yourself to just like the kind of like formalisms of math, you're gonna lose all of the sort of larger system of math.
Yeah,
Or like you'll never be able to find your same
it's
face.
definitely in Essays on Life itself.
Let me look
I
at it.
I'm
remember reading that part.
Yeah,
Where
he says like
I remember reading it.
to me the big question in biology. I have in my notes. You can find this
Yeah. I
link
found it, I
to.
think.
Yeah, what page?
Uh,
It's near the beginning.
page 2?
Yeah, I think it actually is like page 2, I think. Let's see. Page 2 or
Oh,
3.
it pops up a lot. It actually pops up a lot throughout the book. Pops up quite a bit.
Universe of discourse, right?
It's in the syntax and semantics and language,
Yeah, it pops up a lot.
optimality in biology and medicine, optimality in physics.
Where is it? I'm
Hmm.
trying to
Here we go. Here
find.
we go. I claim that the Gödelian and non-computability results are a symptom arising within mathematics itself, indicating that we are trying to solve problems in too limited a
I
universe
don't
of
think that's the one.
discourse.
It's like I can read it. It starts like to me the basic question in biology to which all others are subsidiary or
Is
collateral
what is
is
life?
the huh?
What is life?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like the
and that
first
was
one.
in the yeah. Where was
Like
that?
I can't find it for some reason.
Let me look in life itself.
Yeah, page 2 of the actual book itself. Any question is yes, yeah, got it. Any question becomes
Yes.
unanswerable if we do not permit ourselves a universe large enough to deal with the question.
That's the same
Ax
page.
equals b generally is generally unsolvable in universe of positive integers. Likewise, generic angles become untrisectable, cubes unduplicatable, and so on in a universe limited by rulers and compasses. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. Oh, yeah. So yeah. So this is where it was. I claim the Gödelian non-computability results are a symptom arising within mathematics itself, indicating that we are trying to solve problems in too limited a universe of discourse. The limits in question are imposed in mathematics by an excess of rigor, which is like syntactic rigor, and in science by
Hmm.
cognate limitations of quote unquote objectivity and context independence. In both cases, our universe are limited not by the demands of the problems that need to be solved, but by extraneous standards of rigor. The result in both cases is a mindset of reductionism and looking only downward towards subsystems and never upward and outward. Yes.
Damn, Grinder is disgusting.
Right. And this is like basically all part of his like what I like to call like his genericity
Mhm.
thesis, right? With like
Mhm.
biology being like expressed,
Justification of it.
yeah, like biology expressing the more general laws of physics, right, than contemporary
As
physics.
opposed to the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah. And so well, yeah, I mean, and Turvey also repeats this argument for psychology, right? Like he's saying, like the systems of nature, like that exhibit perception and action, are like extremely complex, far more complex, right, than sort of the systems that contemporary physics studies, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, like I just recently realized that Turvey was like doing this. Okay, hold up. Yeah, you remember the porosification thing, like how
Mhm.
the more we admit onto the quote unquote objective side, right? The
The
more
more
porous
subjectivity has to go in.
the partition becomes, right?
Yeah.
And so and what really it becomes like it just dissolves completely when we admit impredicativity, right? Because then the partition is on the objective side. You know what I mean? The measurement is on the objective side. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And it's
Yeah.
it's, it's as an epistemic cut, as like parasitical as syntax is like parasitical and like you know what I mean? Like all that stuff is like predicativity is a parasitical of impredicativity and all that. Right. But basically the point I want to make, and it can be made with some demonstrations, right? Like you have my notes, right?
Let's see. Let me go
Like
into
my vault.
this.
Right.
I do.
Uh,
Let me pull it up.
Oh my god, are you gonna take him to where I think you're gonna take him?
The first example I want to show is an example from Patty. If
What
you
physical category? Are you
That's not what
like
I thought you were
pulling
gonna
something up right now?
no,
Can I see what you're doing on your computer
I'm on
by
my
just
phone.
opening up the vault?
So yeah. So you can go to organism and system note,
Okay.
and
Let's,
you know how to look through the
yeah,
vault. Yeah.
I'm going through. Let's see, organism and environment. Let's see,
There's a magnifying glass on the left
close
hand side.
this.
Like on the left
Yeah,
hand far left hand side, there's a magnifying glass. You can just search for it.
I
yeah.
could probably
Let
try
me
to help
just.
you.
I'm just gonna turn this off real quick. Turn
What do you
this
want him to look
off.
at, by the
Okay,
way?
1 second.
Oh yeah, you can share your screen. I forgot.
Oh, here. I'm just gonna waiting for it to load real quick.
Like I'm gonna like I think this example is really important because I mean, well, Patty talks a lot about these sort of partitions, these epistemic cuts, right? And he's like really focused on basically the physics of symbols. You know what I mean? And I sort of like talked to you about that before, right? But you got bored and left. Do
Me?
you remember? I was like going on about the physics of symbols, right? Like, and then you just left. Like you're just like, okay, you left.
Yeah, it's like okay. Yeah, it's like. Let's see here.
I won't do all that now. I just want to make the point because
Okay.
it's a very
Yeah.
important point.
Okay. Come on. I'm just waiting here. Okay.
Did you
And
find it?
what's it? What? Currently searching right now. We're just waiting for it to load. Uh, and so my phone is 1,000.
Make
Okay.
sure it's
So
not
let's
the
see.
magnifying glass on like the bar, like the horizontal bar. It's like it's on the vertical
Yeah.
bar on the left. You
Yeah.
know, it's supposed to be Omni Search. It's a plugin. It's a lot better than the
Mhm.
like the general like the factory, I guess. Obsidian search thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Default. Yeah.
Yeah, default. That's right.
What do you
Well.
want him to look at, by the way? I'm trying to look
Yeah.
for it.
Uh,
Are you
yeah.
in
I'm
the
trying to figure
organism?
out like what do I need to search?
Yeah, I'm on the
Are you in
volume.
you're in the organism environment system note?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, control F for more physics. Yeah, control F for more physics. I think it's the second one. Yeah,
He
these
just
are
gets
quotes.
still more physics.
Yeah. This is like the paragraph I wanted to refer to. I mean, if you look at like the third mention and the fourth mention, you'll see where I got it from. Right, I got it from Patty. Like these are quotes from Patty. But two is me just putting it together. Right.
Okay. Organism and
Yeah.
environment.
So basically, yeah, you might want to read the above paragraph. Like yeah, you might want to read the above paragraph. Some of it's not important, but some of it's probably important. What
Mm-hmm. Currently just waiting for this to load here.
are you waiting for to load?
Okay, let's see. I'm just scrolling through it here. Come on. Wait, I just passed it. Hang on.
If you control F for more phys, I can't like maybe you can share your screen. I could see it.
Let's see. It'll probably get too hot.
If you
I
want,
just saw it though. Wait,
I can just screen share for
organism
you
environment
guys.
says got it. Found it. Okay. Yeah, we could probably just do that too. Okay. Yeah. If you want to screenshot. Oh fuck.
There you go.
Screen share Sakura. Not screenshot. Please don't do that.
I'm gonna screen shoot you. Alright.
Oh, shat. Like shit. Like shitting yourself. Oh, I forget. Yeah. Never mind. Oh, that's sharding. Sorry. Yeah. Never mind. Let's see.
Alright, can you guys see it?
I see. What's with all the colors? That's what I noticed too. Like,
That's what I'm saying!
what is this nonsense?
I just liked it like that. Okay.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying, man.
So,
We can turn
yeah.
all the
So,
colors off if you want.
can you find it? Is it right there? Is that it? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's right there.
Yeah.
However, that matters. Simple problem.
Yeah, but probably want to
Okay.
read like most of the paragraph above it. You know.
Okay, let me just matter.
Read through that paragraph. You can read through it fast. The second one is what's important.
Who do you want to do that?
No,
Okay.
I'm like pessimistic or Ryan. Yeah, Ryan. Just go through
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Just currently searching right now. Matter symbol problem. The one right above it. Idealism and material. What's this? I have to stop here for a second. Well, let me go back. Idealism and materialism are similar in the sense that both are more human being at the center of the universe. This also explains why they're defended so vigorously. Although the human being lost his position as the center of the universe, his sun-centered astronomy. Okay, so humans' idealism is formed inner constructions and material space projection of these. Goes here even so far as to deny the reality of the world altogether. Which dumbass wrote this?
I think that was somebody. It was a quote from somebody.
God help us. Okay.
What is he reading? I don't think he's reading what I'm looking
I was
at.
just reading.
Sorry,
I'm not
the example I want to
reading. Yeah.
bring up is I call it Patsy's loss of symbol function. Right.
Okay. Let me just pull this up here.
The loss of symbol
Smart
function.
open swinger. Holy shit, this is big. Okay, hang on.
Bro, how are you
Symbol.
gonna bring this? Bro, I don't know how you're gonna bring this back. I'm honestly confused.
Waiting for the oh fuck.
So
Okay,
we've
hang
read
on.
this. We've read these paragraphs before.
Fine. There we go. Symbol. Okay, here we go. Here's something. Most philosophers ignore the material embodiment. Okay, here we go. I think we're getting there. The measurement problem.
Just
Measurement is a
control it.
fundamental problem.
Yeah, control it for more physics. You search
More
for more.
physics. Okay,
Well,
more
you want him to read the
physics.
thing above it too, right?
Yeah, but
Just look
Okay,
up like the
that's fine.
arbitrariness characteristic. And it should come up.
like there's a
Okay,
lot of stuff in that period that's not really important.
yeah.
I just
There's
like
a
I don't
lot
know.
of more
What's the
physics.
context? Yeah,
Okay, hang on.
like in the
However, the
paragraph.
meta symbol. Okay, I'm on paragraph 2166.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where I'm at right now.
The paragraph above it has maybe some context you want to read through real
Okay,
fast.
I'll just look through that real quickly. It's a massive ass paragraph. Okay, the arbitrariness characteristic of symbol structures. This is precisely what sets them apart from material structures. Anyhow, this well-established distinction is something we rarely have trouble recognizing. Patti, ho. Philosophy typically sees the symbol-matter relation as a problem of reference, qua symbol grounding, or of how symbols come to stand for material structures. That he's, quote, always found the complementary question of how material structures can be. Yeah. How could something be stripped of meaning in such a way that meaning could later be added arbitrarily? Question mark for the symbols will this okay. Basic measurement problem. According to Patty, the only way symbols could have originated is during processes epistemologically equivalent to measurement, i.e., the high selectivity or simplification of the system, but only those aspects we have chosen to observe at the expense of ignoring others. That is, the kinds of physical things whose separations and magnitudes we intend to measure, i.e., observables, vis-a-vis resolution or space and time scales of our measurements. The basic condition is that our measured information or semantics cannot entail a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. Therefore, well, okay, where's this from?
Patty.
Only measurements compensated by information loss in some aspect of the measuring process for details. So both quantum mechanics close but time is symmetrical reversible. Okay, yeah, they're isotropic. Okay. Physics reduced to time symmetric equations with a quantum mechanical will never be able to account for how a measuring device, the act of measurement, or how epistemic act of any kind got there, how it could work. Method measurement to be common existent in such a theory.
Oh, hello.
Oh shit. Where'd he go? Come back! Come back to us, pessimistic. What the fuck is going
Hello.
on?
Yeah, I cut out for like I don't know what the fuck went on. Like I just cut
Ah,
out.
I
what
was
the
just
hell?
reading for a second.
Bro, everything you just...
Yeah.
I think that was Discord. I think Discord was
That
doing that.
maybe did it have
It
its
was because I was thinking about if Tati, or whatever her fucking name is, Patty is a Jew.
Well, it's a guy.
Looked into my he.
Howard
Yeah,
Patty.
it's like they're like in my brain, so like they know, and they're like we have to shut it down. Let's see here. Let's see. Hence, one does not have to deal with the problem of symbolic matter. There is no measurement problem in the world of machines. However, the matter. Yeah. This up here, copy.
Yeah, there's more
Okay.
context above. Like if you scroll up, there's more finished paragraphs that this is stemming from. You know, like these are my notes. You know what I mean?
Do you know what the first name is of this Patty?
Yeah, Howard Patty. I have a
Oh, yeah.
collection of his papers. I think I sent it to you before, but I'll send it again.
Let's see. American biologist, Professor Emeritus Brigham.
Yeah, he's big in like biosemiotics.
Hmm.
You know what that is, right? I put it in VC text, like the collection of his papers and stuff that I have. If you there's one in there, life, language, laws, I think, or laws, language, life. That one's like
Hmm.
the most recent like collection of like most of his most like important papers. You know, I think that's like the 2012. That's the 2012 one that I keep referencing. So
Let's see.
there's a lot of stuff in there.
Finished philosopher.
I don't know, man.
Yes. And this is like okay, just basically keep in mind for this next paragraph, or you can
Mm-hmm.
even read the direct like if you're still control Fing for more physics, like if you hit the down arrows to like
Mm-hmm.
3 and 4, you'll see the quote where it's from. Like the full quote from Patty. But like I incorporated some other stuff in like my note there.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to see, right? This right here, there's going to be a demonstration, right, of Rosen's porosification. Like that. I mean, I'm even tempted to call it Rosen's law of porosification, honestly. But I want to see if you catch it, if you see it.
Okay, let's see. Give me something to type in the find. So
Well,
what should I write
more
in the find?
physics. You didn't. You did.
I mean, I did that and it came up with a bunch of more physics.
In the organism environment system, no.
Yeah.
Let me
In
try
my
to give you a better thing to search.
there's only no. There's only four.
Type in
There's only
the phrase.
yeah. There's only four mentions.
That's still a lot. Okay, more physics.
Yeah. So the two is the one I wrote, like I put together.
Okay.
But you can see the full quote if you go to 4 or 3. Like you can see the
Let's
full
see
quote.
here. However, the matter symbol problem will be unavoidable, precisely where it is necessary to specify objectively that a measurement is completed.
Like in Maxwell Demon stuff and like Schrodinger's cat. Like Patty gives all
Sorting
those
all the shit.
examples. Yeah, he fleshes out all those examples in his work. If you're
In
interested.
other words, the physicist needs to know exactly where in this physical interaction, object, and measuring device he can make sure the symbol appears. Any detailed physical description of a measurement process here will look just like any other physical action in two systems. Yeah, The physicist is never sure he has any symbols because on closer analysis, he just gets still more physics. Does this sound familiar? The physicist learned long ago to accept the obvious solution. He does not try to analyze the measurement process. The formal equations which are presumed to hold for the observables of the formal theory do not appear to hold for the system that actually entails the measurement. The loss of it's like the system is incompatible, or like is this theory consistent with our knowledge of it? Is the truth of this theory consistent with our knowledge of its truth? Well, no.
The loss of symbol function. Look.
Let's see. The loss of function comes about because we change our focus of attention from the narrow symbolic result, which is all we needed, to the material details of generation of the symbolic result, which we did not need. It's this loss of discrimination. Let me use a description. With more detail than is necessary, that results in a loss of symbol function. The symbol matter distinction appears then to require a choice of function. What about gain of function? We all know about that. Forget it. Never mind. It's a COVID meme. Gain of function. That's
Oh yeah.
yeah. It's like we have choice of function. But now do we have gain of function? Fauci. Okay. The symbol matter distinction appears then to require a choice of function. We can strive for complete descriptions in terms of laws over which we have no control. Or, by exercising control, we can relinquish complete or lawful descriptions to acquire symbol function. Patty. Page 10. Stuck in the symbolic mode, the symbolic
Yeah.
result keeps
That was
you
basically it. That was
irreversible
basically it.
or the measurement and the symbolic are inexplicable.
Or if you want to
Oh,
see like the
I'm
full
just
quote from Patty, you can like go to 3 or 4. Like the mentions of more physics.
let's see.
That's not
You
working.
see this just like the full quote there.
Yeah, here we go.
He talks about the problem
Pessimistic.
is that the measurement
Measuring
device, the
device
measuring
and the system.
yeah.
It measures cannot be described by the same detailed model. Otherwise, the measurement becomes an indistinguishable part of a larger system. Yeah, they're perfectly homogeneous. So, there is no way to separate the result of the measurement from all
The
the other
symbolic result.
interactions.
Yeah.
Measurement is the high selectivity or simplification of the system to only the attribute we have chosen to observe. The problem is this: can we understand the measurement by decomposing the process in detail? To understand in detail would put back into the measuring device all the complexity of the interaction that the function of measurement requires that the device ignores. In other words, a detailed physical description of a measurement process will look just like physical interaction of two systems. The physicist needs to know exactly where in this physical interaction he can make sure that a symbol appears, rather.
Because he needs
This is
them
his
for his initial conditions, right? For
exactly.
the formalism.
Yeah, but without that, he's fucked. So, physicist
Yeah.
is never sure he has meaningful symbols because of closer analysis, he just gets still more physics.
I'll have to
This
reload.
sound familiar?
There you go.
Does this sound familiar? The physicist learned long ago to accept the obvious solution. He does not try to analyze the measurement process. Most of the processing time of the physicist goes into the design and construction of the measuring device.
As well as most of the money. Most
Yeah.
of the money and time in physics. Yeah.
Applies physicists very well by ignoring the process measurement and by assuming that whatever is going on in detail doesn't affect the result. Yeah, that's bullshit. However, the selection of what pattern is measured is, of course, crucial. Unfortunately, nature is not that simple. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to know, did you see the demonstration of Rosen's?
No, yeah,
I
I could see. It's like, okay, all of these systems, essentially, these
like
like
basically,
they
I
failed
mean,
to take account of the
the
measuring process
coursification,
itself.
right? The
Yeah.
more we admit to the objective side, we're looking at the measurement process,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't find any symbols. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like there's no epistemic cut, right? It's completely dissolved if we look at the details. You know what I mean? Because like it requires ignoring those details.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, we can't have a well, I mean, no measuring process measures itself, so to speak, or tries not
Yes.
to take account of itself. But you can't have an infinite regress of
Well,
measurements.
these are. I
Oh.
mean, well, I try to make the distinction between extrinsic measurement, artificial measurement, which this is. It gets you
Yeah.
symbols. You know what I mean? And intrinsic or natural measurement, right? Which involves empirical. Like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
there's a
That's fine.
whole discussion of that like right before. Like if you go back to the second mention of more physics, like if you scroll up, I think it should be
Mm-hmm.
like right around here, or it might be below. It might be if you scroll down, you see it. You see. Yeah, yeah, right there. If you scroll down, you see it like the whole. Basically, and I don't know. Maybe you'll I think maybe you'll like this. Like you see, I incorporate Rosen's measurement regress argument thing there, right? The two alternatives to the regress, and
Mm-hmm.
I incorporate like Kugler and Turvey's discussion about extrinsic versus intrinsic measurement, right? And I sort of I like the two ways of stopping the regress. I basically conflate them with that, right? So the first one, the fiat is extrinsic measurement, right? Stopping it by fiat. And the second one in predicativity, right, is obviously natural measure. And they go into really deep like physical detail, like in Kugler and Turvey, they talk all about it, like how you can get like natural units, right? That the system defines, and it's like the system defines its own natural units, and like we can talk about like thermodynamic potentials, right? They define metrics, right? And like metrics shape potentials. And that's like a sort of like in predicativity that they talk about. But they don't have the term in predicativity yet in 1987.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm
yes,
just gonna say this first. I'm like yawning like every
yeah,
couple of seconds.
I know, but I just wanted to basically concretize sort of
I could see it.
the plausibility of it, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
want to
mean,
know,
I agree, like with the main idea here. So I will say
right?
that.
I don't know if you can see where this is going,
I don't
right?
think it gets you to realism, but it's
Mm.
insufficient. It's
Well,
insufficient.
let's see
Like,
here. Let's see here. I don't know.
yeah,
Like it depends, right? I think it
yeah.
depends. Here, what do you like? I only realized this just like recently that Turvey is doing this throughout the entirety of lectures on perception, where he's like, I don't know if you've seen where he basically first introduces the primary secondary quality distinction, and then over time he talks about how that distinction is sort of shift, just like Rosen talks about, right? The porosification, right? And then he eventually concludes on affordances as a new primary quality, right?
Mm,
Dissolving the distinction entirely,
mm,
which were the distinction before was that secondary qualities are properties of mental states, and primary qualities are properties of physical states or whatever, right? And it's like there's a dualism there, right?
mm,
It's exactly the incommensurability in descriptors, like the object of reference and the object of experience, right? They're
mm,
incommensurable, right?
mm,
Sort of you have to translate them, right?
mm,
But when we have affordances as a new primary quality, right? There's no such distinction, right? Like literally, it basically encompasses all the
Oh,
sort of like, like all those sort of like distinctions, primary, secondary, quality, whatever. They're sort of derivative, but
those are that distinction is itself crafted within the sphere of affordances, so to
hmm
speak. It lives in the
yeah.
medium of affordances.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like, I mean, Hume. There's this great quote in Lectures on Perception where he quotes Hume on like the difficulty, like it's important to remark on the difficulty of making this distinction, right? Because it's not something that's given to you in perception, right?
Right.
It's something that's
I
like,
agree.
yeah, it's like Descartes' third grade of sense is making that distinction, sort of thing,
Yeah.
like
It's
pure reason. You know what I mean?
yeah. The object is given to us as real with all of its characteristics and qualities. We don't say,
Mhm.
oh, well, only some of these are not any, they're
And
completely manufactured or illusory or
yeah,
anything like that. No, we perceive the object as real with all of the characteristics
and now
that we
like
take it as well.
to circle back. This is where I was leading to the whole time. Let me drink some water because I'm sure you can hear my dry ass mouth. Like, Mm. Right. So circling all the way back to where we started, I
Let me
think
take a couple 100 grams of melatonin. Hang on.
I don't know if you think like I I want to ask you if you think it's plausible that there may be something to this in like how we agree on so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we're
Like,
kind of using two different language systems almost to describe similar things.
yes. But do you get what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
I've sort of enlarged my universe of discourse, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Large enough to sort of encompass all the things you care about that sort of make you like be like, oh, I'm anti like materialist.
Hmm.
Or I'm like anti like realist,
Anti-nature.
anti nature or whatever. Yeah.
Anti-computationalist.
You get what I'm saying, right? Because I
Yeah.
don't I would totally disagree. I would agree with you on most of those points. I mean all those points probably, against
Yeah.
like those views of like basically just like reality is like objectivity is equated with syntax, right? Reality is and we've seen that we can't do that.
Yeah.
We've seen that we
Doesn't
can't,
make any sense. Yeah.
right?
It's inconsistent with itself. It's incompatible with our knowledge of the
Mhm.
truth of such a theory is incompatible with our
Right.
knowledge of its being true.
So I don't know, like I want. What do you think about the plausibility of that? Because like I really like we're working on the video course right now, and I was really gonna like go through like flesh out this whole thing I just went through with you on Rosen's like porosification argument, like then go through
Yeah.
like how Turvey did it. Like he did it beautifully, bro, beautifully. Like I really recommend you read like his whole discussion through. I think it starts in like lecture 5, section 5,
Mhm.
right at the end of lecture 5, and then it continues more sort of in lecture 2022, right, where he's
Mhm.
talking about affordances as a new primary quality, right, and then he's like refer back to lecture 5.5 so we can, you know what I mean, and he puts it all together, but he doesn't
Mhm.
explicitly cite Rosen. I swear I he definitely got it from Rosen, bro. He
Mhm.
had to,
You know, in the case though, he could only have gotten those ideas from Benjamin Netanyahu.
He could have only gotten those ideas from Robert Rose.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think about the plausibility of that?
No, I mean, like, I think I basically agree with you about this whole stuff about, like, yeah, syntax, semantics, this need for um, uh, the system to be able to take account of itself. That's
Mhm.
something that you don't get with these impoverished, like, universes of discourse, these
Right.
impoverished systems. Yeah, I'm in
And
complete agreement
I
with
would
that.
totally like yeah, I mean I don't think there's any basis for equating that with realism, right? Or identifying that
Yeah.
with realism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like it's something that yeah it could be shared. The same idea can be shared by many different
Yeah,
systems or
it's
many
totally
different theories.
equivocal. It's totally equivocal.
Yeah, yeah, it's something that is no, yeah, it's a point of agreement. So it's something that yeah, I would completely agree with that. Um, and it's yeah. I think it's true. I mean, I think it's kind of like the fact that when people say like, oh, well, like, well, my physics says, well,
I
this
sort of
or
want to
that.
I want to take this approach instead of trying to like sort of directly refute like idealism. You know what I mean? Because I think we it's like that's not really something you want to do. Like try and
Yeah.
that's not something you can do really to
You
somebody's
can.
fundamental like worldviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Idealism is like
Well, I mean, you're
a
not gonna you're when
point.
somebody like those such fundamental like worldviews, you're not gonna
Mhm.
like just convince the person, you know, like
Yeah.
to drop them. You know what I mean?
It's very, very, very rare.
And this
And
Right.
reminds
it's
me,
So I was thinking
um,
like this could be like a different approach, right? You get
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. And in
More,
Sakura, what were you saying?
a more parsimonious approach, for one.
like, I think the idea is just getting these idealists to check their premises.
Oh, don't get me started with checking premises.
Okay, but
Oh,
let's get back to it. Like,
You
what you
know,
think about what you think about what I'm saying here, what I'm implying here. You
no,
know,
no. I mean, I think I like agree. I mean, I've been
I showed the
using checking
demonstration of
premises.
it. It won
I mean,
on
I think it's like
the measurement
it's
level. Yeah.
it's I mean, I have to like read through it like again in maybe a couple times. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I get the
Maybe,
idea, but it's
may,
like
like I said, maybe go through. Turvey talks about it like on a way broader level, like the historical
mhm.
level. You know.
Yeah. Have you ever so like speaking of theoretical biology and the like, I was actually just yesterday reading through von Uxkol, um
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
his theoretical biology. Now he's like a Kantian,
I know.
but he's an interesting figure with his like
Mhm.
Umwelt and the like.
Yeah, well,
Um
yeah. Turvey has a paper on contrasting, like a 2019 paper on
mm,
contrasting von Wexfel's views on like the Umwelt
mm,
and Gibson's views, right?
mm.
Like it's
Yeah,
like
I'll check that
comparing
out.
and contrasting. It's very yeah, yeah. I can
He's an excellent writer, von Uxkol. So it's yeah, he's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, that's a very cool paper too. I have an audio version of it too, so you
You
can like
do?
listen. Yeah,
Oh God, can you send it to me?
yeah, I'll send it.
Thank
Uh,
you.
yeah, but yeah. I
Are
don't know
you the
if you
one
know
reading it, or who's reading it?
what.
Who's reading it?
Oh no, it was just like I downloaded the audio. Like it was like when I was downloading the paper, there was like an audio play version, and I just downloaded.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I do all the readings on my YouTube channel, and
Mm,
so it's like my
nice.
it's like yeah, some of them it's like ASMR kind of stuff. So it's
It's
like
like I downloaded like a slightly slowed down version though, so you'll have to speed it up probably. I like to listen to things slowed down. It's also in an Australian voice for some reason. I did it.
oh, God hates Australia.
But yeah, I put it in
Oh,
VC text.
oh, that's horrible.
Yeah,
but like,
organism and
yeah,
environment. Yeah.
Let's see.
It's a good paper, bro. It's a good paper.
VC text.
but yeah, like maybe we should go back to the upshot of all this. Like,
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
want to like.
Um,
I don't know
we
what you think
maybe we
about
could
that.
Recurring.
It's
just,
sort of like it sort of just dissolves a sort of barrier between us. You know, our views, like our worldviews, without sort of like trying to supplant your worldview like
Wait a
directly. You know
second.
what I mean?
1 second.
What the fuck is going on? It doesn't.
I'm listening to that Australian.
oh my
Oh,
god,
God, it's scary.
he's
Sounds
horrified,
drunk.
drunk.
Uh, let's see here. He's topsy turvy. Okay, never mind.
And that actually reminds me of a YouTube title that we made.
yeah, we like let we can you can just link it, Sakura. I want to hear what he says about the thing.
Yeah, I want to hear what he has to say about the upshot of this.
I don't really
Yeah,
know
like
what I mean. I thought I
well,
already said like yeah.
no,
It's
like I said, instead of directly trying to like supplant your worldview, I think it sort of dissolves like the whole like just the barrier between our worldviews. You know, it's just like
yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like yeah, we both agree on this.
so. Like, what do you think of
So it's like
that?
yeah, it's like
But like, it's important
good.
to understand that it's more than just like this, right? It's like all of the
Yeah,
conversations you guys have been having.
I think
Yeah,
this might
I'm
be
not
like
talking about whether
a
you agree like on all the syntax semantic stuff. I'm talking about the the applicability like of the porosification argument or the phenomenon here like to our situation. You know what I mean? To like the sort of partition between our worldviews. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
I see what you mean. So, yeah, it's like
I thought I made that
as soon
clear.
as I yeah, it's like as soon as I pull out the pull me back in. It's like the Godfather reference. Forget it. Never mind.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
get it.
yeah, but it's like yeah. As soon as you partition, you get pulled back. Yeah. Okay, forget.
Yeah,
No. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I could see like as an analogy that kind of thing, but it's I think it might be a bit dangerous. Not dangerous, but like a bit like difficult. At least I mean, I'd have to like kind of be a bit
it
more.
could be I think
You might be able
a
to
sort
map
of
it somehow, like
a
an
way.
analogy kind of thing.
I think it could sort of be like a basis for some common ground. You know?
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
I
mean?
mean, yeah, definitely. I think this is common ground, though. Like, yeah, I think we agree on a lot. We
Yeah,
have
I think
common
there's
enemies. I think,
yeah, and I think there's something curious
even
about
though
that.
you're
You know?
allying with, yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm definitely not
Never
allying with
mind.
them. I
No,
would
no.
think
I'm
that.
saying you're allying with like Benjamin Netanyahu,
Oh,
and
oh
no,
man,
no, it's like
how did you know?
no, yeah, yeah, all this theoretical biology. If you look at the names, it's like, wait a second. Yeah, it's
But no, I mean
uh,
to kind of directly analogize it to, I think like precisely what we were saying was like in the face of agreeing with all of this realism, well, like
mm,
how do you stay with anti-realism if
Like
you're agreeing with all
a
this realism?
non circumscribed realism, right? It's like
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
realism that we've enlarged our universe of discourse where it's like where's the where's the sort of
mhm.
separation between our worldviews? You know what I mean?
So I think one of the major things is the conception of experience in some sense,
Mhm.
but also metaphysics itself. So, for instance, you were very hesitant to discuss like an reality as being a either a system
Right.
or any kind of like a a one or like a holistic kind of
Well, I definitely
uh,
like I think it's like a one, but like there's no one without a many. You know what I mean?
sure,
And
yeah,
vice
and
versa.
I'd be in complete agreement with that as well. So but things as well as uh, certain questions of uh, the nature of philosophical or specifically metaphysical inquiry
Mhm.
and what that involves. The nature of perception, that's one thing, as well as truth,
Yes.
uh, and
Yes.
more kind of things like that,
And
I
but
think.
I think
But
like
on these
what I'm
details,
saying is
on
it's
these
sort of
details,
like
though, I think we kind of agree on certain things on
yeah,
these
I think
details
but what I'm
issues.
saying is more like it's like a window. You know what I mean? It's like a
Yeah, I'd agree
it's
with
like
that. It's
a
like, yeah, we're shaking hands through like the
like
Russian and the
it's a way
U.S.
of like coming like having some common ground, right? Basically to like
Discuss things.
to discuss things without pretense. Without pretense is the
Yeah,
important thing, right? Because
yeah,
there's a lot of that, right? In sort of these sort of discussions between idealist and realist or whatever. Too much like pretense, you know, and like I'm all against that stuff. You know, totally
yeah,
against that stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Gibson is like super like straightforward and grounded. You know.
And like for instance, I agree completely when he says that the movement from uh, the structure or the growth of experience is from indefinite to definite, not
Mhm.
sensation to percept or perception. I completely agree with that.
Right. It's
That
sort of like it's his differentiation theory of learning as opposed to the enrichment theory that they that's what they call it.
yeah, yeah. This movement from towards specification, basically. This movement
Yeah.
from uh, uh, vagueness and towards uh, specificity. Basically, I would agree with that. But
Yeah, and there's a lot to that, right? There's a huge body of work just on that, like perceptual learning, right?
Mhm,
Huge body of work
yeah,
on perceptual learning in the ecological approach.
mhm. Well, I have to be heading off to bed, but this has been a lot of fun, G. I really appreciate it, as well as Sakura. I appreciate it. It's been
Yeah, man.
Well,
nice seeing you.
well, let
Uh,
me know if you wake up, you're like, well, shit, gee,
yeah,
was
totally.
right.
Yeah,
I'm a
Yeah, like just
realist.
think about
yeah,
it. Yeah, just think about it,
yeah.
bro. Think
It's
about it.
like I realized I only have reasons for realism.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
it's yeah, yeah. Well, it's been a lot
Optimistic
of fun.
realist.
Yeah, exactly. It's like yeah, I become my alter ego or my doppelganger. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Really
Definitely
enjoyable, informative.
it would definitely be like a case study for the like the success of that argument, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna put it all together in a video, like a long ass
Mm.
video.
Can you imagine engaging in these kinds of conversations with like normal objectivists?
No way, bro.
Oh
They're
no,
way
that
too
would be
like
They would go crazy on you, bro. They would
they're
not
way too
tolerate this sort of
rationalist,
argument.
honestly.
they'd be
Yes.
like, but look to reality.
They're way too
Look
much.
to reality.
Yeah.
I actually had a conversation
Well, it's because I take
on
realism seriously, I think. You
mm,
know?
yeah, you're a
Yeah, it's
rationalist. You're a
precisely
mystic.
the fact that we don't take realism as like a given, you know?
Mm,
Or like
It needs to
it
be
gives you
defended.
yeah,
reality or
it's
whatever.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just to say that, well, reality just implies, well, like it's kind of like independence or
Right.
whatever. It's like, well, what? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually had a
I have a
conversation with Ben Swanger back in 2019 on his blog,
oh,
on
nice.
his HB letter. Um, yeah, that was an interesting like I had several conversations with him, and he actually reached out to me privately in an email, and he said, like, yeah, you do have these rationalistic. Like, I wish I responded to him in an email. I didn't, and I regret it. But it's like if you're doing that, and if you love Atlas Shrugged, I'd be happy to give you like yeah, free subscription or whatever and stuff like that. I never responded, and I regret it to this day for some reason. Not responding. I felt like it was
Well,
rude of
he's
me.
still around. He's like
Yeah,
he's been like the past
I
week or
still
so
watch it.
he was live on his YouTube the past like
Yeah,
twice
yeah.
in the past week.
I sometimes watch HBTV.
Oh,
Um,
I've
I
watched
like
all
I
of
like
those.
I really like his one on the question of whether or not artistic preference is subjective. I like that one. That's a nice, relaxing video. Um, yeah, as well as the one where it's like the set of all what? I love that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that one where he talks about
yeah,
impredicativity.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, predicative or impredicative. Yeah, and then he has these other ones that are like, oh my god, what it's like, why restricting immigration is immoral. It's
Well,
like,
yeah, it's just politics, bro. I mean,
yeah, it's like boomerism. It's like this is this absolute state of boomerism.
Yeah. Wait, when you wake up, tomorrow you should oh sorry, I just stepped on my cat.
Oh no! Oh no!
I like barely missed him. Okay, so yeah, in VC text, this was like I was sort of working on a paper or something.
Mhm.
Uh, but then I decided to go a different route. But like
Mhm.
there's this sort of like argument I made in here, sort of like an introspective kind of test or argument or whatever. And I think it's like, I think it's a lot better at like characterizing sort of realism. You know what I mean? Like
Let's
especially in the fourth paragraph, like that's where the main point is made. I don't know if you want to read through it now or save it because you're like super tired.
see. I'll actually. Oh, I just saw the name William James. I'll actually listen to it. Right now, I think. As I head off to bed. But yeah, I'll do all
Oh
that.
yeah, I think this is an argument similar to what William James made a similar argument. I think.
He made a lot. He made a lot of arguments that are quite similar to the ones that we made. William James is excellent. His Principles of
Yeah.
Psychology is a classic. He also was good friends with Josiah Royce, the American absolute idealist philosopher, logician. The guy was a genius. Literally invented a system of logic called the system sigma. Literally, like from which you could like derive like all of this like geometry and shit like that. Yeah, the system sigma. Um, oh god, at Boston College, my advisor was a Josiah Royce scholar and a William James scholar and a Charles Peirce scholar, and I made a stupid joke at one of the the meeting, like kind of like the teacher, like the faculty, kind of like a get together basically with all the students and things like that. It was like a formal kind of dinner, and I was in a conversation. I think we all had a bit much to drink, but I was like talking to this Josiah Royce scholar about how like when I first learned about Josiah Royce's system sigma, I had to laugh because it's like like it's a sigma, like you get it, and the guy was like, the guy's a boomer, of course, and he's like, what? Like it's like,
I mean, I'm kind of a boomer in that respect. I've heard the use of the term,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
but
Sigma male
in pop
system.
culture, like Sigma male, but I have no idea what it means, honestly.
yeah. It's like, think of like Patrick Bateman,
Oh,
Yeah.
like cool, yeah.
It's like top
like
1%
what's his
dude.
name? Like the fucking guy in Blade Runner 2020, Ryan
Oh
Gosling.
yeah, exactly, yeah. He would be like a
Yeah, it's like stereotypical like male, whatever.
yeah. It's like someone that like doesn't really give a fuck too much, but they're like act really cool and stuff, and you're kind of like captivated by them. But yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to show you this because like I'm gonna like this sort of characterization, or I don't know what you want to call it, argument. I don't want to call it an argument for realism, right? But
I would say it's an argument for
I
against I think it's against something that realism and like certain forms of idealism agree and in having
well,
as a foe.
not the parsimonious one. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about this thing in the about the introspection thing, and in the doc
Mm.
here.
Oh, let's see. I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, in
Let's see. I
basic
haven't read
text.
through it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Don't,
Oh wait.
you don't have to read it. Yeah, you can save it for tomorrow. Right. But paragraph 4 here.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Number
like
four.
I would want to hear what you think, like, because I'm gonna use that in our video to, and I'm gonna flesh it out more. But I'm gonna use that sort of argument in our video to like much better characterize realism than sort of like
Mm-hmm.
like the world independent or like an object independent of the mind. You know, kind of characterization that's usually given. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like it's a much stronger sort of characterization of
Mm-hmm.
it, and then I'm gonna use it in my video, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool.
So I
Well,
definitely want
I'm
to
gonna
hear
be.
what you think about that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll let you know. So I'm gonna be heading off to bed
Mhm.
right now. It's been a really let me pull
Hey
this
man,
up here.
just
Yeah, it's
sleep
been a
on
lot of
it.
fun.
Just sleep on it
Yeah.
and just
All right.
Yeah,
See ya.
I'll be sure to. See ya.
See ya.
Have a good one, man.
Have a good night.
Oh, Voyant's in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just joined like 2 minutes ago.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know.
What? I
I
was
don't
in
know. This
before
guy
too.
might become a Gibsonian, man.
I mean, I
Oh,
doubt
this
it'll be.
guy.
I don't doubt it'll be like an instant thing, but it's definitely like we're
No.
rubbing off on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. He probably's having a lot of fun coming in here. Then, like I don't
Mm.
know where else he'd be. You know, like on Discord. Definitely wouldn't have these conversations with other like objectivists. You know what I mean?
I think that this server is like the freaking bleeding edge of objectivism. I've yet to see somewhere more advanced, but I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah.
up there.
By like
Orders of
leagues. You know,
magnitude, bro.
are crazy about. You know, it's like not even. It's like almost not even comparable. You know. Like you look at any of the other so-called objectivist servers, and like there's like they never talk about epistemology. They never talk about anything. Like
Literally
they
just
just talk about
politics.
just politics.
Well, Ben Swanger knew about Gibson, but
Yeah.
and
I'm talking about on Discord, like
okay,
among the like objectivist diaspora, if you wanna.
yeah.
Right, but like modern objectivist scholars, right, are definitely like in tune, you know, like the serious objectivist scholars like Binswanger and all these people at the like ARI or whatever, right, they're sort of in tune with, like,
And
yeah,
bro, at this point, even in other so-called anarcho-objectivist servers
and
too, bro.
that's a lot of thanks to sort of Binswanger, because Binswanger has been like pushing Gibson since the 80s. You know what I mean? He's been giving
Mm,
lectures talking about Gibson since the 80s.
yeah.
Mhm. So, Sakura, what were you going to say? Because I didn't think there were even any like other anarcho-objectivist servers than like Zulu Cord in here.
Well, that's what I was kind of saying. I mean, there's probably other ones. Like, I mean, Rothbard's Basement is kind of its own thing. I don't know what the hell they do over there, though.
Is ANCAP Doggo's server still like running?
Oh, yeah, Ancop's Zago server. Yeah, it's basically like the same, if not worse, than Zulu server. It's like, I don't
So you just
know.
That's
let in
hard.
any, you just
It's
let
just
in
filled with
anyone, and it was
rationalists. Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
it's filled with people who are just stupid.
Um,
Or we or ye, they have like a furry server or whatever, but they've been like pushing like ecological psychology and objectivism to a bunch of random furries.
So
we gotta have a, bro, we gotta have a furry army against the state.
sometimes the remnant is where you least expect it.
Maybe, yeah.
The remnants wherever the radicals are, man.
Right, the radical furries.
Radical furries, yeah. If it's a radical furry, that's where the remnant is.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know,
there's a lot.
man.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's some aspects of like ecological psychology that are interesting to them, particularly in particular.
I mean, yeah, I know,
Dude,
like, even for me, like, I feel like ecological psychology can probably offer a lot for, like, sexuality kind of stuff as well.
Yo,
Yeah.
Sakura didn't catch that, bro. He just like it like whooshed over his head, and then he just doubled down, like unknowingly, he unknowingly doubled down.
Double down on what? What?
You saw it, right, boy?
I'm I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not certain about it. So you would have to explain it so that I could confirm.
I don't get it.
I was talking about I was making a joke, right? I was making a joke, and I think you didn't understand it was a joke. I was making a joke about like maybe there's some aspects of like ecological psychology these furries are like really interested in, you know, in particular. And then you come along and you're like, yeah, ecological psychology has a lot of stuff to say about like sexuality, I think, you know. Or like it's gonna
I don't get it. Are you saying I'm just saying
bro.
the same thing as you?
He was saying it in a joking way. You were saying it in like a very serious way.
Well, yeah, because I'm bi. Like,
Bro. Bro, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know how you didn't get that, bro. I don't know how to explain it to you.
You don't know how to explain it, or you don't want to explain it.
I mean, how would I explain it to him, bro?
I don't know, dude. I'm not even totally sure what you're wanting to explain if you were going to.
I don't even think Boyan understands it.
No, he understands.
I really don't
Oh
get
my
it.
god.
Well, I don't know, bro. You'll
Okay.
like have to figure it out on your own, I guess.
When you're older, you'll. I don't know. Yeah. I'm out here looking at these stars. Looks dope. One of these days, I'm gonna have to go to a place where there's like no light pollution.
Okay, what do you think, Sakura? What do you think about that? The whole discussion we just had. With, I just came in here and I was like, okay, I want to talk to Pessimistic about this.
Dude, it was insane. Like I was kind of lost the whole time as well. I was like, how the hell is he gonna bring this like back to what we were talking about? Like as somebody who already knew kind of what the end was supposed to be like, I was just like, how is this gonna connect? And then you were just like, you brought up like all of the terms that we were talking about, like everything we were talking about, and you just kind of like made it more explicit whatever we were talking about yesterday with those kind of, you know, making the making it more porous and like
Mhm.
all that stuff. And I was just like, wow, like that it just says it perfectly. It's just like he seems to just agree with all of this realism, and it's like, oh yeah, 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 this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. And it's just like there's so much in common. And it's like this is like a view that he's never seen before, right? He's never seen this
Right,
before. And
right.
so
That's why he was like, you'll never have these discussions with other objectivists, you know?
yeah.
Like he realized that, I think.
Mhm.
And I don't know, he was sort of joking when he said it, but I think he was like, he was realizing, like, I'm just having reasons for realism. Or what did he say?
Like he was
What did he
just
say
saying,
about reasons for realism?
yeah, he was just saying that like all of this stuff that you guys have been talking about and how he agrees with all of it is all just like, oh my god, like everything I've been saying is reasons for realism.
Little did he know. You know? Little did he know. And I don't know, it's a really like sort of
And I think that's what he's searching for, right?
yeah,
Like
maybe. Yeah.
he's opposed to all of this stuff. And it's like we're also opposed to all of this stuff. And he's just never seen this view before. And it's like he's been searching for a view which can do all of this. And it's like, well, okay, I'm stuck within this false dichotomy, so I kind of have to be over here on this idealism side of things because that's the only thing I could really conceive of. But then it's like
Mhm.
this whole new thing pops up, and it's like, oh wait, this whole dichotomy is bullshit. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's not even like, oh, it's not even like we have to basically attack that itself, right? The dichotomy itself. You know what I mean? It's a
yeah,
much more
yeah,
it's a much more subversive move. You know, it's a much more subversive argument. You know what I'm saying? It like pervades like it just like, you know, it's like you're drowning in it, bro. Like you I don't know what like what's with him right now. Like he's probably just like he can't escape it. You know what I mean? He's just
yeah. It's
thinking
like
about
you're
it.
like pulling him down into the water. It's just like,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's like I'm sure at some point in his history of his life, it's like, okay, well, I disagree with all this stuff, so the skeptics are doing all this shit, and I don't want to be a skeptic. And then it's
Mm.
like, well, the only other option is idealism, but all these idealists are like fucking weird, right? It's like you guys
Yeah.
are a bunch of morons. And so it's like, okay, I'm gonna go break off and do my own idealism because that's like
Yeah.
the only thing that I can conceive of right now. Um, and then like he comes here and it's like his yeah, it's like his universe of discourse has like expanded.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think it's very like it's something that it helps to make explicit that like it helps to make that explicit like through the whole argument or like line of reasoning I was just going through with him right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's like you have to make him open his eyes to the fact that he's in like this infinitesimal world. And it's like, how do you do that?
Mm. Well, not even that. I think he's like more so like remember in the like sort of mind body dichotomy, most of the worldly properties ended up on the mind side of the dualism, right?
Right.
So in that sense, we have a lot in common with the idealist, right? Like with the in the respects like of what we're like concerned with. You know what I mean?
Right. We just don't have like a mind body thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like they're like all the things that we say are like, well, yeah, the worldly properties are just worldly, right? They're not like
Yeah.
unreal. They're
Right.
gonna
We're
be
not
like,
we're not
yeah,
downgrading reality by reference to fantasy. You know what I mean? Which is the mechanistic worldview.
yeah, and it's like he
Yeah, we're not
might,
taking the impoverished view as the standard of reality. You know?
yeah, and it's like he might agree with all the stuff we're saying, but it's like he's trying to he's trying to put it in a dualism. I think that's what it is.
He's a monist, yeah. But like
Yeah.
I think it's like that option. It's like I totally took that option off of the table just now. You
Mm,
know, with my whole discussion that I just went through with him, I just took that option off the table. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Now there's no barrier between our views, and so now there's no barrier between me reaching over and critiquing his views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like what he said about a window. He's trying to like reach through the window and
That's
you're
what I
just
said.
like pulling him in. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
was it you? Yeah, it's like you're
yeah, it was
pulling him into the like house. It's like he's outside. He's outside of reality and then he like puts his hand into reality and you just yank him right in.
yeah, but like I've taken the option away from him to just like sort of sit safely on the other side of like the barrier between our worldviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've dissolved it.
So like where like realism can't touch like his worldview. We're like, you know what I mean? But like I'm touching it all over the place. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I've taken that option off of the table, right?
Mm,
So he's like, that's not even available, you know? So he's like confronted with entirely new like options. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And that would be a cool video, right? That would be a
Hmm.
really cool video. That would be good to send to like any like idealist,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I guess maybe they're like I don't know if he is like an easy person to convert or like a hard person to convert, because I
Oh
feel like
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
who's like,
definitely the latter, bro. I mean, it's not. Well, that's the thing. We're not doing conversion. We're not trying to convert him. You know, that's the difference, right?
well, yeah,
That's what.
what
That's
I
why I think
mean,
this approach is actually has a chance for like success. You know, you get what
yeah,
I'm saying? We're not trying to convert him, right? We're not trying to tell him like to change his like views. You know that like so much, but rather to like open them to critique, right? And checking our conjectures, right? And having like a common ground, right? To discuss this stuff, right? These ideas without pretense, right?
yeah, and I'm just kind of wondering how would the argument work on like a very stubborn person, like, because I don't know, pessimistic doesn't seem like a very stubborn person to me, you know.
Right.
Um, Whereas somebody who's like, I don't know, like Paper Bag Man's very stubborn, right? Like he'll probably never be
Yeah.
convinced of anything.
But I
But
think
like,
it still just takes the option off the table. You know what I mean? Like what are you gonna do?
sure, yeah. It makes the kind of things that we say about the arbitrary like right in front of your face.
Right. Well, it makes our worldview. And so our world, there's not a fucking unfathomable gap between our worldviews, right? They're actually like touching, and they can sort of exchange, and they can sort of like refine, like like it, like mutually like arrive at some shared goal.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's the key here, because I don't expect him to be like immediately like I'm a realist. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
expect
just
that at
like
all.
coming in tomorrow and be like, man, I was
But
wrong about everything.
yeah, but what I expect is for sort of the option of like staying safely on his side of like his side of things, right? Is taken off the table, right? That's what I expect.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Like he'll just be pulled more and more into
Like
it.
his ideas are no longer insulated from realism, right? That option is off the table. He can no longer insulate his ideas from realism.
Right, he has to confront the realist perspective on literally all the shit that he agrees with.
Yes, exactly. Right. He cannot insulate his ideas from realism no longer. That option has been taken off the table. And that's the
Hmm.
beauty. Like it's so beautiful, that argument, bro. I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is pessimistic idealism's like background? Like, like a
I'm
does he
not
have like
quite
a master's degree in
sure.
philosophy or
You
something?
should clip that part I just said about his views, or like how like it took the option off the table, and his views are no longer his ideas are no longer insulated from realism. That option's been taken off the table. You should clip that and send it to him. Yeah, do it, bro. Clip it and send it to him. I'm serious, bro. Because I think like he would agree. You know,
Mm.
clip this whole part where I'm talking about what the like whole motive of it is. Because it really is beautiful, bro. It's like I don't know how to explain it.
Did he go to school for
It's
philosophy?
very satisfying, right?
Do you know, G? Did he go to school for philosophy?
Him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in
Yeah,
Pessimistic
yeah.
idealist.
yeah. He's even like an educator on like campus or something.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, really? Okay. So you met him? Did you meet him
No,
online or
no,
did you
yeah,
meet
I
him in
met
real
him
life?
online. He had a debate with Zulu way back. He's been like a
Oh,
figure, like he's just been like in the background, in the cut, like in the community the whole time.
I gotcha.
What's up?
Interesting.
What's up, Fen?
I'm
What's up, Sven?
managing.
What's up, law of identity denier? That's all I remember from when we talked.
Law,
But
who
yeah.
needs it?
Yeah, Sakura, remember that. Remember to clip that. Send it to him tomorrow, bro. Make sure to send it to him like as soon as possible. Because I told him to read that thing tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll get it clipped. I'll probably upload it real quick too. I still have to upload the other conversation you guys had.
Yeah. That's a very good way. Like I'm right now I'm basically formulating, like I'm like realizing what my motive is with this whole thing, and like I'm sort of like figuring out how to put it. You know what I mean? Just like in this moment, And that's a really good way to put it, right? That uh his ideas are no longer insulated from realism, right? That
You gotta
option's been
cross
taken
the
off the table.
barrier. The barriers to realism.
No, I'm saying his ideas must answer to realism. Literally.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You've shrunk his world.
Huh?
You've like shrunk his world.
No, I haven't shrunk it.
Well, you shrunk it to nothing. Well,
No, I enlarged it.
You destroyed him. No.
I made him realize that he was looking at the outside through windows the whole time. He just needed to step outside, and like the whole world is a way bigger place, you know? You know what I mean? That's really what it is.
hmm.
He just had to realize that the world he was been talking about this whole time is the real world. Right? Right? Don't grant the sort of irrealist, right? Don't grant their premise, their standard of what reality is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Confrontationalists are so dumb. I only believe in property things as an idealist.
Yeah, maybe it'll take a while for him to drop the idealist, right? But it'll like, I feel like it's on the way, It's like he's because his ideas are no longer insulated. He doesn't have that option to insulate his ideas from realism. It's like his ideas are now sort of like he have to answer to realism, you know?
Yeah, you have to dissolve his shell, and that takes time. So he's got to come out of his
Yeah,
shell.
right. But he's gonna start seeing how like his ideas are being confronted with realism, like his ideas are no longer insulated from being confronted by realism,
Yeah. Just like,
And I think that's
wow,
what
this is like
yeah.
unequivocal. Holy moly.
Yeah. Man, it's just so beautiful, bro. You know?
Hmm.
So satisfying.
And maybe that's the hard part about it, is that he's like basically there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but again, we're not trying to convert him, right? We're just trying to basically like connect with some long lost friends, you know what I mean? Reconnect with some long lost friends, we've been we've been separated, man. Like we're like brothers, separated at birth or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like you got lost outside of reality. And you're like, come back. Come back. Come back, man. You
Yeah,
missed
and I mean
this.
it definitely helps that we're like really like welcoming, you know?
Mhm.
Because I bet he doesn't like feel welcome by other realists. You know what I mean? So-called realists.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been kind of gradually trying this kind of thing on many people. Like I know you've been talking a lot to Boots
Yes,
as
on
well.
Boots. Boots.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think
which is
Boots would
interesting.
be.
Like,
I think this is like the perfect because you see how stubborn Boots is, and I think it's just like I need to open his eyes, right?
mm,
And this is the way to do it is to show him that his ideas are no longer insulated from realism,
mm.
right?
And yeah, I mean, like sometimes like I'll look and it's like towards the end of a lot of your debates, like he's like lost for words. Like he doesn't. It's like towards the end of the debate, it like converges to a point where it's just like, well, come on, bro, we already talked about it here. Like,
Yeah, he just gives up. He just throws up his hands like I don't know what to do.
yeah, I don't
Hang
know
it
what to
up.
do. Take this, take this.
One thing that I feel like you guys are both pretty decent at, especially over VC, but with soccer and text, is like you don't get angry that easily with people. Like you'll get like you're motivating, but like it's not in a way that's forceful. And I feel like I can, especially in text, and I think that sometimes G does this, but I'll get angry with someone as I'm talking to them because it just seems like they're being dumb. But that doesn't really help, like that just turns them off. It makes them block you out. It's just an emotional
Yeah, but
battle after a
I
certain
think I'm
point.
very good at like saying something to really like sober up everybody in the room and like get us on track, to some to get somewhere, you know? I feel like I'm
Yeah.
decent at that.
I mean, when I try to talk to people, like
Well, let Voyant
generally,
continue if he was gonna.
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
what
I
did
didn't
you
have
want to
much
say?
to say, but I was basically gonna. I mean, I'll let Soccer say his thing, but like the main thing was that like I'll me and Soccer will be talking to the same guy at the same time, and one of us will just be, and I'll be just like fighting the guy essentially. I'm just like,
It always was
I'll,
aesthetic.
I get to the point where I'm just like, there's no point engaging more
Mm.
seriously with this guy, and Soccer will still be trying to like figure out his position, and I admire that because I think that's sort of like a positive uh frame. Like that's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
positive way of
I don't
looking
want
at it.
to take credit for it. Like, I don't know. Did you get that from me a little bit, maybe, Sakura?
Well, I like I don't do that all the time. Like I usually only do that with people like in here. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's definitely
because like
something
I will
I
see,
encourage.
yeah, especially throughout like the making of this whole paper, like I'll see Voyant like arguing with like Zetetic or something like that, and I'll just be like, all right, come on, like it's not that deep, like come on, we just gotta like do
And I
this.
had to do that too yesterday. I remember I had to fucking like resolve the fucking like the fight you guys were having, and I resolved it in like 2 messages. Oh shit. I just like ended it in like 2 messages.
Me and Zetetic
What
were
was it?
having.
What was it about again?
No,
Oh
you
my god,
Voyant and Synthetic.
Oh,
I forget what that was about. Was it about like you originating it or Zetetic?
I have no idea, but like I remember I just like resolved it in like 2 seconds, like it was like nothing, like it was bullshit.
like you guys had like an argument about, who originated the idea? Was it G who originated title tracing, or Zetetic? And it's just like I don't even think that's what Zetetic was really talking about. And I just came in there and I was just like, oh well, I think G like already had the idea of title tracing. He was just trying to get you to see it. And then Zetetic, it's like, well, you were kind of the catalyst for why G wanted to make a paper about it, or like try to have it distilled.
Yeah,
Well, I
And
heard
he was
he
like,
was
yeah,
like
Zetetic like a
begging me to
low
do it.
yeah,
key.
He was like begging me to do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I heard Zetetic like a low key taking credit for having the idea, and he was like, "Well, look at these messages where I was talking about like latecomer action versus firstcomer." It was the one you were showing us where he was like totally just erasing
Yeah, just
conflict.
totally being a rationalist. Like,
And I was like, "You're tripping and falling over, okay?" And then G looking at that and being like, "Hey, I should make some shoes or something so that they don't so people don't trip as often." Like,
Yeah,
that's not
like
your idea, bro.
I just don't like seeing people tripping in my fucking view. You know, just like here, take some fucking shoes, fucking like showing kitties. Yeah.
But then Zetatic comes, he's like, "I originated the shoe idea by tripping over." You know, it's like, what are you talking about? Like, that was an accident. Like, it
Like
doesn't
I had to
matter if he's
explain
supposed
it
to be
to
here before you.
him.
So that's why I was just
I
like,
had to
that's
really
why I
like
ignored him.
explain it like so
I told the
simply.
guy, that I needed this room illuminated, and then I made the light bulb. Like,
It's crazy.
Yeah, but the TEDx has been helpful. You know, he's
Yes.
got dedication, right?
I mean, if nothing else,
I don't
it's
want to be too
dedication.
hard on Zetetic because he's come a long way, you know?
Yeah,
And like in all
yeah.
seriousness, he has come quite a long way, right?
yeah, I
I
mean,
gotta give it up for that. I'm like when I hear you say that, I think like, well, come a long way from flat Earth is like you dove down like a hole in the ground, and then now you've climbed back up to like the surface where you were originally, and it's like,
Right.
okay, well,
Like that's a pretty like you know, commendable feat, you know?
yeah, that's true. I mean, but I take dice to the context of the whole diving down the hole thing that he must have done to become a flat earther.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just like,
like you know, there's a lot of reasons for that. Right?
yeah,
Rationalism, right? Peacock really likes to stress this. Rationalism is not a moral default, right? He really likes to stress this in understanding objectivism.
what does that mean? Not a
Uh,
moral default. Like
yeah,
people don't do that
it's more
automatically.
like it's more like a sort of like like being attuned to like the wrong like sort of wrong method of gaining knowledge. You know what I mean? It's like you just like you're just holding on to like a wrong method of gaining knowledge. You know, and for like there's like some uh there's some like apparent benefits to it, like just the coping it's like as a coping mechanism, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
I think we've
It's
talked
not,
about that before.
yeah, but
How
it's like it's not a
originally,
moral default.
yeah,
Peikoff really likes to stress that because he says like it's something I've had to deal with for like decades, you know. I was like such a rationalist, you know. Like but I had like the best of intentions, you know.
and what do you mean by like moral default? Because it's like I kind of see it as just like being scared of choosing,
Yeah, I mean it's like
like the fear of independent judgment.
it's not evil like being a rationalist, you know what I
Right.
mean? It's
Yeah.
not evil like as such. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, it's not good either. It's just like it's not a moral default.
Well, yeah, I would say the. I mean, the evil people would be like the people trying to like
Like Kant, you know?
push it. Yeah,
Trying
just like
trying to make others like feel impotent about like their mind, you know what I mean? Like have
yeah.
such low self-esteem, you know what I mean? And yeah. I mean, I don't I don't want to blame him for that too much. I would basically
Like
I would think he's like, you know, he's responsible surely for just as much as he's responsible
yeah.
for diving in, he's responsible for his willingness to like get out of that pit. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I wouldn't necessarily like blame uh Peter Keating for being a second hander when fucking Ellsworth Toohey is like grooming him the whole book. All right,
Yeah,
like the problem
right.
there is
And
Ellsworth
you
Toohey.
see it's like I mean Zetetic, he eventually like when as he opened himself up to like rational exchange with like us, you know what I mean, more and more,
Yeah.
that's when he finally dropped the flat earth stuff. Like, it wasn't before this server, it wasn't like, it was like after we've been really like getting knee deep in like getting serious about objectivism and objectivist epistemology and all of this stuff,
I mean, hey man, it's just like you said about the partition. Just like you
yeah.
said. All boils down to just like the partition just getting very porous. And then it just kind of.
I mean, it's very easy. It's very like I feel like I concretized it really well too. That's why I thought the demonstration with the measurement, like the loss of symbol function and describing the measurement process, right,
Right.
is like it really concretizes it, right, and then it just like I think from Ryan's perspective, from pessimistic idealist perspective, right,
Hmm.
he's like where there was this sort of wall, right, between him and realists before, it's like not even there. He could just walk right through it. He could just walk right through where the wall used to be. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like he used to see a
fucking.
wall right in front of him, and then the wall's just like not there.
You're literally
That's how I
you're breaking down the wall that
yeah
literally other rationalist objectivists built. Like,
yeah. You gotta
like
he has to understand that the wall is not like keeping him safe. It's keeping him confined.
yeah.
Right.
But it's like all the
So, like,
like supposed realists that are just like
yeah, I basically just gave him the keys.
they help build the wall. Basically.
Yeah, I just gave him the fucking like the keys, or I just fucking shot it with a bazooka. I just gave him the key, the key to the lock, or something, right? I just like opened the door, just
You
like
released him from his prison.
yeah, bro, yeah, no cap. Yes, yeah, you're right, 100%. We Sunk costs and arbitrariness are some of the biggest psychological obstacles. Yeah, there's an example I like to give, like for evasion. It was concretized. It really concretized it for my brother. Like I was explaining it to my brother. Like if you were basically walking east, you know what I mean? If you're
Hmm.
walking east, right? And fuck, my phone is on 1%. 1 second.
I don't know why you don't just keep charging your phone. Also, I don't know, get a better phone.
Yeah. So the example. So you're trying to go east, right? And then you see the sun is rising behind you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you see the sun rising behind you, right? And it's sort of like, are you gonna just like ignore ignore that, try and wipe that fact out, right, and change your course, right, to go the right way, or are you just gonna keep going the wrong direction? You know what I mean?
Keep going
Like
east, yeah.
just like if you ignore the fact, right, then it would just like then it doesn't exist, right? Like it just like you can just keep going this way, and then you're going the right way for sure because you just will it, just whim, just by whim, you just will it into existence that you're going the right way. Yeah. That sort of like has to do with sunk cost too.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because
I've
like,
definitely felt that before.
yeah, I mean, it definitely takes like there's something easy right? About like in the moment, there's something easy about being like, I'm just gonna ignore it because I've already walked sort of like I've sort of like doubled the distance I have to walk. You know what I mean?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But it's a lot. It'll become a lot harder in the long run. Like it'll be you'll be much like you'll be in a much worse state, right? Of affairs. Like
If you just
um
ignore
if
it.
you do that. Yeah. Right. But it definitely takes like some effort. It takes some like willpower, to sort of open your eyes, to look, right? To look at reality. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
To judge it, to judge things for what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is we talking about in the chat?
I don't know.
The writings on the wall and won't go away. Looking for things easy. Just for links to slip. What do you mean you find yourself knowing fewer things these days?
Like I'll be thinking, or like I'll think of a concept that I used to use more often, or what I thought was a concept. I'll try and use it to think about something,
Oh,
and
I
then I'll
see.
realize like I don't actually know what this is because I've never thought about it in a way that's integrated.
Right. Yeah,
Oh my god, it's what
that's
you and
another
Shitino were talking about.
yeah, I mean it's another case of what I was saying, like, oh, like you can anybody can look back at like when they were being irrationalist and they'll see that they were just like not thinking, right? They were just like replacing thought with like a script, you know?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You don't notice it in the moment. You can't notice
Mhm.
it in the moment because it serves as a sort of blinder to your uh default on the responsibility of thinking, right?
And the more you let yourself just kind of like flow along, the
Mhm.
less the less you'll sort of stop yourself when you
Yeah, I definitely
when you
had that
do it.
experience too, right? I did like it's a lot of people, right? A lot of people sort of talk about like sort of have these like mechanistic intuitions, but really it's just like they're just it's just the social miasma that they just absorbed the straight like the
Mm.
social miasma. You know what I mean?
Right.
They
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
absorbed it, right? And they never questioned it. You know?
Right. So people are just like Kantians and they've like never read a thing about philosophy.
Right. But it's like once you start sort of taking thought as a virtue seriously, taking rationality seriously, taking realism seriously, right? You know what
Well, I
I'm saying?
would actually
You-
say, yeah, I mean, I would actually say that like there's some Kantians out there who do read like a lot of Phil, but it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're
That's
not thinking about that either. They're just like
right.
Mm.
reading it.
But you get what I'm saying, right? I was gonna say something like that too, but yeah, it's not even about reading philosophy, right? It's about sort of taking what like what 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 even makes philosophy possible, right? It's life on this earth, right? That we're part of the same world we're striving to know, right? Philosophy is all about sort of uh serving as like a foundation for an integrated view of the universe, right? So we can sort of find our place in that world, like find our place in that universe, or identify or delimit our place in that universe, right? And
Yeah,
like
and Phil Bro
and,
is
and
never
live
gonna
and live and like appreciate the meaning of our lives and live accordingly, right?
yeah, and Phil Bros are never gonna fucking grasp that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, it's because like in understanding objectivism, like Peikoff talks about, they hold this sort of like absolute separation between philosophy and life, and so philosophy can't even like it can't even like be part of their life. You know what I'm saying?
life as a standard of value, and they're just like dead face.
Yeah, they just blank out.
This is the part where I say this in my script.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, Voyant, if you want to expand on that, like, sorry, I was sort of expanding on what you said, but like, if you want to add to that.
Well, that was it mostly.
Well, like, if you want to sort of concretize it better, because I like that concretization you were giving about like all these concepts, right? Sort of, I thought they were concepts, right? I was just using them unthinkingly, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
but
it's like
now it's like I know that thinking requires effort. It requires focus, right? And I know that I was not thinking. I was using those quote unquote concepts unthinkingly, right? But now that I have like real integrations, real concepts, right? They're they actually require lots of effort to use. I realize that. I mean, they actually require lots of effort to use and take seriously, right? And sort of integrate into the whole context of your knowledge, right? You get what I'm saying?
yeah, like if I could to concretize that, I think one thing that I've been sort of doing lately over the last few months as I've been really immersed with objectivism is I've been kind of like teaching my little sister about it.
Like,
Um,
remember when you were a determinist, bro?
yeah,
When I
yeah.
was a determinist, that's fine.
Yeah,
So
bro.
Y'all were have both
I was
some
like,
interesting
I would
backgrounds.
have to fucking like hold his hand for like hours and hours, and he was just like, he just couldn't grasp like the problems with determinism, bro.
And it's like
well,
what you were
if
saying about concepts. It's like
Yeah,
there's
and I
also
think
like
that's a big example. I think that we can point to. Like I like that. I can point, like, it's a shared experience. Me and
Mhm.
Voyant can both point to, right? Because we you remember, bro, those long ass fucking discussions we had on determinism.
I think what was going on there in hindsight was partially like I didn't understand the connection between philosophy and science. I kind of thought that they were like
Mm.
separate
Mhm.
from each other. And so I would see this like Newtonian view of causality and just be like, well, that's what it is. Like there's no other way.
Yeah,
And
but
because of that,
you were
any
using
other way.
all these like these ideas like unthinkingly, like
Hmm.
second handedly, right?
Right, I never like examine them. Yeah.
Yes, right.
So, but the thing that I will do when I'm talking to my sister about this stuff, like objectivist stuff, I'll tell her about objectivist ethics, with regard to her own life. And eventually I'll tell her about something that I thinks that she should do, or tell her something I think was bad that she did, and she'll be like, well, she'll have this response for me, and it'll be based on what I've previously said that's like in line with objectivist ethics. And as I'm sort of saying this, as I'm critiquing her in this way that's ultimately like altruistic or secondhanded or something, in the rare case that happens, there's this feeling of like something's kind of wrong here, but I don't know what it is. And she points it out,
Yeah,
I think because she spent less time like absorbing the social miasma, as you put it. And so
Mhm.
she'll kind of, use what I'm saying against me. And I'll have to look back, and a lot
Like
of the times I'll end
living
up
with
being like,
borrowed
"Oh, you
vision
were actually
is
right."
another way
She's like
to
applying it better than I did.
another way to put it is living with borrowed vision versus unborrowed vision.
Hmm, interesting. So yeah, she would end up like correcting me on this stuff. She'd be like, "Well, wouldn't it be selfish to do it this way?" And I'm like, "Shit, yeah, you're you're right. It would be, like, dang it, I don't
Yeah,
know what I was
I think
saying."
maybe it's like sort of the problem of truism. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think the problem of truism has really like skyrocket everybody's fucking like seriousness when it comes to like anything, any of these ideas, right? It's like shit, I gotta take it seriously, you know.
me
Yeah.
every time I go into Zulu chord. You're a truist. You're a truist. You're a truist.
That's what you don't want to do. That honestly, you don't want to.
I'm joking.
You might want to say they're adopting certain truisms, right? But remember, the problem of truism lies with the sort of like conveyor of the ideas, the person who's sort of trying to uh like talk about their ideas, right? Like in a way that they can we can sort of like start having a dialogue about it, right? You know
Yeah,
what
I wonder who that is. I wouldn't know.
I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying, right? I feel like
Yeah,
all these
obviously I'm not
discussions
doing
we've been
that.
having.
I'm not doing that. That's a joke.
I'm saying all these discussions we've been having lately, right? Are really like they're really. I mean, we've been taking account of the problem of truism really well, I think, and that's like a big thing. I think that's a big thing. Like we've been. It's like I don't know. I've seen so much progress in a lot of you guys, like lightning fast progress. You know, way faster than sort of previous generations. You know, like the guys who came before, right? Like the first guys who were like sort of getting into this with me. You know what I mean? Like it's like you guys are progressing at like 5 times the speed that they did. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes
Yeah,
surpassing them in a lot of respects. You get what I'm saying?
and it's like I don't know when it's gonna slow down. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be like running ahead of myself, where it's like I just hit like a wall.
Well, you just got to spiral, bro. It's all about spiraling. You're not going in a straight line. You know what I mean? You're spiraling, and it's like this dense like network that's just like growing out like slime mold, bro. You know, like a slime mold, just like growing and like getting fleshed out and just like super like rich. You know what I mean?
The emphases that you put on that sentence are just funny. Yeah, no,
Slime
it's good.
That's
Like I
exactly
feel like I'm
how I
starting to
think
get
of
the
it.
like skeleton right now, and I know there's so much more that I could. There's so
Yeah,
many more connections that I could make, but I just haven't made them yet.
and it's like I don't know. How do you feel? Does that like frighten you? Right?
No, I mean it just
No.
feels like there's a bunch of opportunity there.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's for me like emphasizing the problem of truism or accounting for it, right? In the ways I've accounted for it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. What do you mean by that?
Like
Like
remember
that
when I
you're
was telling you
cultivating
about
more?
how to like remember I was telling you about sort of I was telling you about this stuff, right? Well like the how I like to read books and stuff, and I was telling you sort of like how not to view like new learning opportunities for new learning is frightening, right? And it's like the expanding range of options that you get, right?
Hmm.
Like I've talked
Yeah,
all about.
I like in that conversation that you focused on truism as like a really bad idea. Like that'll destroy your sort of community or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, sort of movement, intellectual movement. You're trying to
Right. Yeah, that's
you're trying
fostering.
you're fostering or you're sort of like participating in, you know?
Hmm.
Rationalist rot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you want to like continue with that point? You want to add on that?
Um, shoot, I forget where we were before.
We were
I
talking
think
about
well, the thing that you brought up in that conversation was like when you read a book linearly, from beginning to end,
right.
easy to take this sense of like this is the entirety. Like now I've completed my knowledge and I've gotten to the
Yeah.
last page, so there's nothing more for me to learn. And
Yeah.
you're doing it kind of non-linearly is like a good
Mhm.
way to make it so that it's almost like because you've missed a few words, you never get this feeling like, well, I've looked over every word, so therefore I've
Yeah.
learned it.
Yeah,
Like
and
it's
peek
more
off.
about how much you've thought about
And
it.
and I end up fucking like I return to the same book, the same paper like fucking dozens of times. You know what I mean? Like over and over and over again. And I keep just spiraling through it. I just keep spiraling through it with like a fuller context and integrating it into my fuller context, each time.
And peek off
Hmm.
says like you stop integrating when you die. Like you're never gonna stop integrating.
Yeah.
There's no I'm done. I've completed my knowledge.
Well, I wonder
Yeah.
why it feels like people that get older tend to like stop doing that. Maybe
This
maybe
is the
that's not everyone, and
final.
maybe it's
Well, no,
just
yeah,
like
it's not everyone, right? We like Gibson, Rothbard, uh
right.
peak off, right? They all had they were innovating. I mean, they all had their like biggest integrations like in the later years of their lives. Really.
That's true. Yeah, that's a fair point. I guess it's like maybe a tendency or a correlation, but like there's certainly
No,
not
like Stratino
really
was
that.
talking about this. I don't know if you were in that discussion where Stratino was talking about this, how like compared to like Einstein, where he was sort of like he was sort of distraught about uh like all of his like he was sort of saying like how all of his like biggest integrations came early on, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And he sort of felt stagnated as he kept like as he aged, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right? But it's
And
like we're talking about like how like the mark of Rothbard and Gibson, and like they're all like super wise. They're wise. Like they're old. They're getting older, and they're just getting wiser. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, that's inspiring. And it's good that you bring up those examples because I mean,
Yeah, I mean Gibson's book, right? The Ecological Approach to Visual Perception is his magnum opus, right? What year did it release? What year was it published?
oh, I don't
Like
know,
you
what,
were.
80s, 90s, something like that.
1979.
Hmm.
What year did Gibson die?
I don't know.
Take a wild guess.
80, 88. I don't know.
No, 1979, bro.
Oh shoot, same year.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Hmm.
he was working on that book for like over a decade.
Interesting. There's something I've
Yeah.
heard. There's
He
this
talks
guy that
about
I
it in
used
the
to listen to.
introduction. He talks about it in the introduction how much he's spiraled back and like had to revise so much stuff like and like well, it was because he was developing it like empirically, like he was like, the purple perils, right? He would always have these conferences, and he would like the purple perils are sort of like issues of the day or whatever, like issues. Well, he would hand them out beforehand, right, where he discusses some issues, and like to fucking like everybody starts discussing it and all that stuff before the conference. Yeah, all these purple perils are collected, by the way. You can find them. They're very cool. Like search up Gibson, JJ Gibson purple perils. Very, very cool.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm on
Yeah,
my phone and I'm like laying in bed right
here.
now, so
Here's the list. There's an online collection, and it's like ordered by the years, like by years. Here, you'll see. Look in VC text. Yeah, purple perils.
let me click on it. Okay. There it is.
And they were all written in like purple ink and stuff. That's why they're called the purple perils.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like 1954 through 1961, 1962 to 1964, like all the way through 1979. Right? So he was doing all of this, right? Like Turvey and Shaw and Mason, like all these people, right, were like in the fucking trenches with him, on this ship.
Right. Hmm.
It's
That's
very cool
cool.
stuff. Just click a random date. Click a random one of those dates. Uh and you'll see like
Where is it?
there's-
Oh, like one of the ranges.
yeah, click one of them.
Okay, I'll do the 1968 to 1969.
Yeah, or you can look at the introduction is pretty cool too. It explains what the purple perils and stuff are. It's by Bill Mace.
Hmm. There's a bunch of interesting stuff in here.
Yeah.
Like occlusion, surface layout, wave train, all these terms that I'm like not familiar with really.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on ecological optics.
Yeah. I think that's a lot in that one. Psychophysics. That's something
Yes,
I'm really
a
not
collection of
not
Gibson's
familiar with.
purple perils affords considerable insight into both Gibson's mind and his personality. These essays provided him with an ideal format for his favorite kind of intellectual activity, pushing ideas as far as they can go. I love it. I love that. These essays provided him with an ideal format for his favorite kind of intellectual activity, pushing ideas as far as they can go. He delighted in sharpening and refining the hypotheses of ecological optics, and in trying to state his opponents' views with greater precision and force than they had been able to achieve. Yeah.
Hmm.
This is in the introduction that I'm reading. The introduction, the Purple Perils here. Yeah, but this is apparently it's not all of his Purple Perils. There's a bunch of Purple Perils in Encountering the World that they might have not added here. Let me link Encountering the World. Selected essays. Oh no, it's not Encountering the World. It's Reasons for Realism. Sorry, Reasons for Realism. Selected essays of J.J. Gibson by Reed and Jones. Edited by Reed and Jones. There we go. A bunch of his essays in there too. So like a bunch of his Purple Perils.
One thing that I wonder, and that I think would be good to kind of like put to you and see what you think of it, is that like in my life, I've felt like a lot of the learning that I have done has been by sort of looking at what people of the past have said and being like, that's very convincing, you know, and eventually, because before I was a Stoic and I was like, oh, that's just pretty cool. But eventually I found Buddhism and then like some other stuff. And I got to objectivism and I was like, I think this is the best that I've seen so far. And then I
And
really got
I
into it.
really
I was
wish
able to like,
I wish we recorded that discussion on history with Sartino, bro.
oh yeah. Well,
I
the thing that
mean,
I saw,
if
Yeah.
only we could have a conversation like that again, man.
We can sort of if you want, we can get Stratino and we can like sort of recapitulate it. I'm sure we can sort of recapitulate it.
well, the
Man,
thing
I
that I
don't
I,
know. I
saw,
don't know if it would feel the same.
I remember the main points. I think we can state a lot of the main points more clearly now.
But mostly about Lombardo's book.
We were talking
I
about how
remember.
we're like the importance of history and like thinking through his like the thinkers of the past, you know, thinking through history, you know what I mean? Thinking through historical thinkers, you know what I mean?
I am the thinker who thinks
Through
through the
thinkers.
historical thinkers.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a better way we can arrive at like saying it. You know, a better way of putting it. We can arrive at it if we like recapitulate the discussion. You know.
Hey yo, you're not the thinker, bro.
well, the thing that impressed me when I was just kind of getting into this server was that it seemed like you, G, were just like expanding outward, you know, like like you were kind of integrating all this stuff that probably if I had never encountered this, I never would have had the thought to expand into, you know, like ecological psychology. Like
Mhm.
who would have thought that would jive so well with you know, objectivism, but here we are with all this stuff that we've found out because of it. And so it's like, how can I make sure? Really, the question that I ask myself is, how can I make sure that I do a similar thing that you do, where I'm like expanding out instead of
Right.
just, you know, kind of like the way that I would learn
Well,
before was like
I would
I
hope
would
that
find these.
I'm that's a big part of my motive is like you know, inspiring people. I really like, you know, trying to inspire people, you know. Like I like I said, you know, in the lust for life stuff, I was just like I hate seeing people who just like don't like love their life, you know, just like to the extent that I do. It just like makes me feel sad about it. You know, like you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Yeah,
I gave like a sort of argument, like a better argument in the lust for life video, but you know what I mean. Check that out. But yeah, continue. You continue.
like the way that I used to learn was I would sort of I would hear a guru, you know, someone who had really thought about something for a while.
Mhm.
And they were like, in this area of life, I really know what's up, you know, and maybe that would be something like, I don't know, dating, you know. and I'd be like, let me just like listen to this guy, listen to everything he has to say, and then from I'll just have this completely disconnected island of knowledge in this topic, and then in
Yeah,
all these other I just have islands for
Peikoff
each
calls
topic.
it compartmentalization. By the way, like you can control F for it in understanding objectivism for more on that and
Interesting.
other places. Yeah,
Hmm. And what does he say about that? Like, what's the issue with that? And of
it's
course,
like
there is an issue.
it's basically the like contrast, like the foil of like the spiral theory of knowledge, basically.
Huh. Yeah. So I felt like a lot of what was happening with you was like spiraling, and I was just, I guess, compartmentalizing. And I was like, how can I not do that? And but yeah, man, objectivism is super inspiring for
Yeah.
like, I mean, over the last 6 months or whatever, as I've learned about this, my, you could say lust for life. That's a good term, but just like general, it's like it's like everything in my life is kind of pointing increasingly in the same direction, and there's just something very like fulfilling about that.
Yeah. It's going toward life, toward consciousness, toward expanding consciousness. You know, higher levels of consciousness, right?
Mhm.
That this is the way Brandon talks about it in the art of living consciously.
Well, the similarity between all the different schools of philosophy that I really enjoyed before objectivism was that their primary virtue, their primary tenet was that you should pay attention. You know, like you should pay
Yes.
attention in some way. And it's like Buddhism was like, well, you should pay attention to everything, essentially. Stoicism really ultimately terminated in that same way, that you should think about all of your, like, their epistemology and like sagehood. They essentially define as thinking about every thought such that you don't let any rationalizations past you, is the way that I'd phrase it in
Yeah,
objectivist terms.
yeah, that actually leads to rationalism, though. It's like Peikoff talks about an understanding objectivism. You need to oscillate back and forth. You need to chew on ideas and then integrate. You know.
Hmm. What would chewing entail? Like, what would that look like?
Yeah, like he talks about it a lot, like chewing. He just um, it's a really deep topic. You know, just I just reference understanding objectivism because I don't want to cut you off. It's all in there, like where he talks about chewing.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, yeah, that common element, like I would find myself honestly looking at these philosophies and just tossing out almost everything else besides the part about paying attention. And
Mm.
like Buddhism, there's so much mysticism. I was like, this is all BS, like there's
Yeah.
I can't justify any of this. But I was like, there's really something to that paying attention. And I think that the way that objectivism frames it as like focus and thinking is, I mean, I think that's really pretty good. And
Yeah, and
I
also
still think it's
the
interesting to
way
look at how we can
ecological
practice that.
psychology, like there's a very like this is why one reason I really think of objectivism really needs ecological psychology is that the sort of basis for focusing is literally the structure of the ambient array around you. You know what I mean? It's like it's not something. It's not like an internal activity. Like you're focusing on fucking like you're peering inwards. Like you're just focusing on like
Focusing
floating
on my
abstractions.
sensations.
Yeah, focusing on like floating abstractions. You know what I mean? Like that's what most objectivists take focus to mean. You know what I mean? Because they
Perception of
because what they do is
emptiness.
they sever it from perception. Right? They literally sever it from perception. They sever focus from perception, volitional focus. And that's disastrous. That's disastrous. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. I honestly hadn't really like connected those two, or
It
I
gives
hadn't
me
thought that
perception of
before, and it's probably important
entities.
to think more about.
Yeah, it's definitely important. Because
Hmm.
I think that part leads to a lot of rationalism is where they fucking sever volitional focus from perception.
I need to focus my Kantian wizard magic.
Hmm. Yeah, well, even the Stoic epistemology is like, it's all based on impressions, which is like pretty much the exact same thing as like representations.
Impressions.
It's like if
Yeah.
you never let a false impression past you, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's copies.
A false
Yeah.
impression.
Right. Yeah. If you have a false impression, that's crazy. At the time, I was like, "Whoa, this is some deep stuff." But
Yeah, you were talking about getting into sort of can you recall when you started warming up more to like you know like I'm gonna hang out more in G's server. I'm gonna like talk more about this stuff with these guys, you know?
Oh, I don't remember when that was for me. I don't remember.
I feel like it was when it was. I mean, it was for sure after the taxed brass video, because the server just like flooded that day and over the next few days with people who were just not good to talk to. I mean,
You mean the Zulu server?
maybe they're going to get better at some
Yeah.
point, but like I just felt like that was almost like the nail in the coffin. And so, and I'd been having some interesting discussions in Zulu Court, and the thing that I really admired about, or sorry, in G Court, and the thing that I really liked about it in here was that we talked about philosophy. Like we didn't talk about politics, we didn't talk about drama, we didn't talk about just
Yep.
these
We don't
these
post
worldly,
fucking.
you could say.
Yeah, we
You
don't
know.
post like stupid ass videos of like Indians getting run over by trains. Like,
That's what. Yeah, yeah. It feels like people are just. It's just an Instagram reel type.
Yeah, like, yeah, yeah.
it's like it's a
Continue,
fucking fever dream.
continue before Sakura cut you off. Like, you
Well,
were. I was listening very intensely.
yeah. There's so much content in here. Like there's so much real thinking going on. And in Zulu Chord, it's like everyone's just parroting to each other, and there's just
Yeah.
nothing going on. There used to be a lot more when some of
And
the
there's a
OGs were
stark
more active.
difference. Like there's something like there's a self-evident difference, right? Like there's a stark difference. You can see it. You know what I mean? It's perceptible, you know? You could
Gee, it's
perceive
what you were saying.
this stark difference between sort of like what's going on here and what's going on in like other places like Zulu server. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's some people that are in here that I think contribute to the vibe that Zulu Chord has in abundance. Like, there's this one guy that I ignored, and I can't find him now, but he's got like Japanese symbols for his name,
Oh yeah,
and he's
tiger shark.
always just yeah, Tiger Shark. That's who it was. He's always posting like just like drama or like, guys, I was arguing with this guy, like he was saying that the world didn't exist, and it's like, who cares? Like, can we, like, I don't know. I don't want to like just because the argument that I had with him was like, and there were other people in the server that were kind of like gang, not ganging up on me, but they were taking his side in the argument, and I was
Oh
Mhm.
like,
yeah.
I was like, because I had seen him in Zulu Court, I've seen him say things for
I know a lot about
probably
him.
months at this point.
I
Yeah,
know a lot about him.
you probably know more than me, honestly, but all that
I
I've
mean,
ever
I'm
seen him
like,
do is talk about
yeah,
drama.
because
I
I
mean,
used to be a
I have not
regular.
I have like no clue what you guys are talking about. But maybe that's just me not giving a shit about
Do you
this kind of stuff.
remember? You'll
You
probably
know?
remember. You know the guy you were calling a rationalist for trying to talk about like the zoo animal stuff and how like are people morally responsible for
Yeah.
shooting a animal? Like I think that's exactly who Voyant's talking about.
Okay.
It's that guy.
But yeah, I see that. I mean, that guy, I have him ignored. Um,
But
and
it's
then of
just like
course,
people like that,
it's folded
like
to
me
it.
and G, like G doesn't even fucking remember who the fuck that person is. Like I know who that person is, but I also don't really give a shit about him. Like I don't care, bro.
Yeah,
You want to come
well,
in
to
here
like,
and talk about whatever the fuck you want to do, fine. But like obviously I have no obligation to be interested in the same shit you're interested in.
I think the time when I was realizing that G chord was better was that time when I was really ranting about like, why doesn't Zulu like put any restrictions on like who flows in here? Besides,
Hello? Yo,
Uh
you cut out.
yeah, you cut out. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Voyant. You said you said besides and then you cut out.
I think I was, yeah, the thing that I was getting at was like,
So
thing
I
that
think
they
you're talking about when you said that, and then I was like, I responded to you like, no, we're actually like far less strict, really, on who we let
in
in
Zulu
here.
Cord.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're way less strict.
we're far less
I
strict,
mean,
and I explained it to you. Remember, I was like, we're like far less strict than Zulu court. I mean, Zulu's court is private, right? But we it's
But
just that like
we're
any so-called like any rationalist that comes in here, right? Or like any sort of like troll or whatever, right? They come in here and they sort of just get
bored.
like demolished, right? There's we just end their whole career in here, like they just they realize it's like there's no easy pickings, they realize there's no easy pickings in here, so they just like stop talking usually after one, two, or three times. So you know what I mean, like after a week or so they usually just stop talking.
well, the reason that I think that that works here is because like there's no one in here that's like a YouTuber or something that there's just like a separate audience that kind of wants to like get closer. Like we just kind of let people flow in, and there's just this steady, you know, just one a couple people every so often,
Right.
Whereas in Zulu court, it's like there's this rush that happens, and then it's because it's almost like the volume,
And
like
they're all like midwits from YouTube, you know.
yeah. So the with Zulu Chord you have like, 20, 25 people all coming in at once and just babbling to each other, and there's like increasingly as Zulu gets more popular, like there are fewer and fewer people relatively to kind of push back, these people that come in. Whereas in your server it's like because it's kind of a steady flow, there's time to like show them that like you're not going to get you're not going to get that far here if you try that stuff that you were doing in that other place. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm doing
Well,
pretty all right.
and yeah, I think
Who's
in
that?
that sense,
Oh, that's it. Look at this. Goodness
well,
Qualia.
well,
He changed
well,
his name.
Well,
well, well, well. Look who we have here.
It's an old Zulu opponent. But yeah, you feel welcome, right? Qualia?
Yeah, I feel overwhelmed, by opposition, but we deal with it.
Fuck you.
I try to make everybody feel welcome, like this is a intellectual space, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we just need to invite a bunch of ancoms, anarchist, everything. Let's make it
So
inclusive.
true.
Make it inclusive. You're not even an anarchist, are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, he's just we're just trying to. He's just maximizing utils, bro.
Exactly. Wait, well, yeah. What's overall the point? Like, that there's like bad seeds in here, or
well,
Oh no,
we were asking about or talking about how or why it is that I started me and Sakura, why we were like we shifted from spending most of our time in Zulu chord to spending most of our time in G chord. And now I barely spend any time in Zulu chord. So it was like, what was the difference? And I was saying that like with Zulu chord, you get this like just flood of people every time Zulu uploads, and they're clicking his Discord link, and it's like they're just overwhelming. And
but
with
there's
every time that
also
that happens
much
in
more
greater numbers, you get people
like
more and more
people here are much more like
discouraged.
equipped, right, to defend, you
Right?
know,
Yeah, that's true.
to
Well, it
defend
felt like we
against.
used to have more people in Zulu Cord that were pretty well equipped, but they just got discouraged, I
Well,
guess. I
I
don't know.
think we actually have more than before now, with people like getting influence from in here and then spreading it to like the people in Zulu Chord, you know what I mean? Here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I don't look in there a lot.
I mean,
You
I
get what I'm
try to
saying,
be
right?
radical in there whenever I can.
Yeah. Me too. I try to be radical in there whenever I can. Yeah.
But
Don't
I
give
mean,
up
like,
on
yeah,
them. Like I we try being a radical in there every now and then. Like we get some people who like are interested in in what we're talking about, and then come over here. You know what I mean? They come to come to G Chord and then like they get immersed in all this stuff, right?
Yeah, like
So
HC.
yeah. So we sort of like get some of the new people, right? Right? And sort of like lead them the right way, you know? Like some of the new
Pluck
people
them
they
off
start
the
getting a little bit.
street.
Yeah.
Pluck them off the streets.
But it's really
Like,
just
hey
like being a
man, come
radical,
look at this.
being a radical, and then like being more like interested in what we're talking about, just like wanting to find out more about what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Because we're talking about all this like novel stuff. You know,
Yeah,
and that's probably why goodness qualia sits in these VCs.
exactly. I'm waiting.
He's
He's
Patient.
waiting
waiting.
for the time to strike.
He's waiting for his moment. He's
Any
collecting
moment
a bunch of
now.
evidence. He's just collecting a bunch of evidence on us being fucking a radical anarchists, and he's gonna send it to the feds.
Yeah.
I'm just
This will
learning all the
surely
talking
maximize my
points.
utils if I report these guys to the IRS.
Yeah, think about the amount of taxes we can collect and help the poor. Like, holy shit.
Oh, he's good for comedic relief. Yeah.
And it's like in the sense that we are like destroying these people when they come in, it's like we are strict in that sense, right? But we've like earned it, right? I feel like we've earned it rather than
Yeah,
like just like
Zulu just
banning
fucking ban.
people.
Yeah, Zulu just bans people like when he gets frustrated, you know?
Yeah. And it's like in that sense we've like earned our strictness.
Did you have more to add, William?
Well, I'm just scrolling through like general chat of Zulu Court because your Sakura was saying how he goes in there sometimes and he tries to be a radical and I'm like that's cool, but the thing I think is like what would there even be for me to be radical about when it's just like Twitter videos, you know, or like some like
Usually,
what I don't
what
even
I
know what I
do,
would say. I was
usually,
thinking
usually what I
typing in there
do is
ironically being like objectivism is true, you know, it's
no,
just
yeah,
waiting for
usually
someone to respond.
what I do is just like I search for any mentions of G for one, GE. I
Oh
search for
yeah.
any mentions of like perception, Gibson. I search for any mentions of that, like people sort of having arguments, like Sakura having arguments, Eddie having arguments, right? And I sort of add my 2 cents, you know, and then just like that lets me just like spew a bunch of radical shit, you know, just like in general chat, just like a fucking you'll see it sometimes. I just drop a whole wall of insight and just like citations and you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, and like it helps me too sometimes whenever he like G will come in and he'll just be like, wait, no, you got this wrong. Here's this wall of text.
Yeah, and it's not just for you, to be clear. Like I do it just to like because it's an opportunity to be a radical, you know?
I'm just saying it even helps me.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's a good opportunity to be a radical, you know, and then like anybody who sees that, like
Yeah,
it's
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 putting
hard
it out
not to
there. Yeah.
see. It's hard not to see, you know, it's very striking. You know what I mean?
It's like, wow, this guy's
Like
talking about all these people, ecological. It's like, oh, what the hell?
yeah, and like nobody's fucking like able to like nobody's saying he's like a retard, you know, nobody's saying you know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying this guy's like a mystic, like he's just like one of these like crazy guys, you know, who like just start spewing like a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Like about science and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's like I remember one of the first times that I spoke to you was like right after I freaking like lost the debate to some like genetic determinists, and you were just like spewing all this shit about like the brain and how like all this brain shit bullshit. Like fuck all that.
Yeah, and it's
It's
just
like,
like shit.
ooh,
There's
this guy.
knowledge, and
Ooh.
there's knowledge. There's things for me to know that I don't know. You know, and I can know it, right? There's a way for me to know it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like this guy did it, right? And that's what I
Yeah,
like
I was
to.
like, this guy's like speaking in an alien language, like. How do I decipher this? Like, what's going on? I gotta
Well, it
ask this
wasn't.
guy more
I don't
questions.
know. Is it alien language? I was very. I think I was very clear, but you were asking questions. I wasn't unapproachable. I was very, open.
Well, yeah. It's not that you were unapproachable or whatever. It was just like it was just like language that I didn't understand, things I just didn't
Yeah,
understand.
but
So
I explained it. I explained it. Like any questions you had, right? I answered.
I don't know. I just remember you being like, "Oh, it would be easier for me to explain in a voice chat," and I had never been in a voice chat with you before.
No, but I did explain it. All that stuff about the brain. Do you not remember? Look at all the fucking stuff I told you about it. And I was like, and you were asking me questions. I was like explaining it. And like when we switched over to general chat, and I kept explaining it.
Wait, I just didn't understand any of the explanation, like at the time.
I mean, look back at it. I don't know if you're remembering it, right, bro? Look back at it, bro. I think you did understand it. Like, I was there, like making sure you understood it. You know what I mean? I recall very clearly that I was trying to make sure that you understood it.
One thing that I'd like to mention about that whole thing is like this is something I've been thinking about a lot recently, with especially since Gameaholics. Like he has this Reddit account, and he's got a bunch of karma on there, and I'll see him post on like objectivist subreddits and anarcho-capitalist stuff, and he's very radical, and it's really nice to read. It really lowers my blood pressure, after I look at Reddit for a second, and I'm just like, I need to calm down from this because this is BS, and I'll read Gameaholics, and it's just like, oh, what a relief. But the thing that he told me was like he's probably going to step away from it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, and it really corresponded to what I'd been thinking lately, which is like you don't really want to spend your life correcting errors. You want to spend your life as the creator. Like I just
Right.
imagine Howard Rourke like going to every architect in the city and being like, "Hey, this is why your style is secondhanded, and I actually don't think you should do that." It's like he doesn't do that. He just goes
Right.
and makes an awesome building.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that there's being a radical kind of sort of does both. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing both at the same time when I'm being radical. Like you've seen the ways I do it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I look
Yeah, I
back on
mean,
it
Like
and
it can
I
get
don't
against you, I
remember.
guess.
encouraging.
Yeah.
I'm like encouraging. I'm like trying to serve as like a like sort of like an example, like to inspire. Like I can like if this guy can fucking know it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like if you've seen me like anywhere on the street, you wouldn't know that I fucking do this right with my free time, bro. I look like just like a fucking like just like a pothead like skater, dude, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. If you're sort of uplifting about it, I just
Yeah,
imagine. Yeah.
I try to be. I try to be on it's on purpose.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I definitely remember coming out of that conversation kind of confused. Um, but I mean, like you were definitely like explaining it. Like I look back at the conversation and I understand it all now. But I definitely remember not getting it at the time.
I mean, you had to have gotten it somewhere, bro. I swear, I was making sure you understood. Like, I was asking, like, do you understand? Like, do you grasp this? I was making sure you understood shit, bro. Like, you understood it to some extent, or else we wouldn't have stopped the conversation. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I guess I came away with the idea that like I came away with the idea that I didn't know something and that I needed to look
That-
into it more.
yeah, and that's not a bad thing. You know, it's a reality check, right?
Yeah. And then I think like when I really started talking in here was after I think it was after I came to that like secret like libertarian server and Stratina was in there and then we had that whole talk about like ethics and divinity and then he was talking about you and I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll go to that server a little bit more then."
Oh, was that it? Did Stratino sort of like like get you on board.
Yeah, Shortino was like, oh yeah, like this guy has made like a ton of progress. Like, yeah, this guy's definitely like worth like tuning
Really?
into.
Can you like fucking screenshot? Like I remember you screenshotting the ethics discussion, but I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Like he was just fucking glazing me, bro.
Like, like these are just a couple. I'll post like a couple of instances where he's like glazing you. Like this was a point where he was like talking about you. And that screenshot was him talking about the book that he was involved in, A New Objective.
Zeg
He
has some
mentions you. Oh, he
interesting
mentions you
points in the
twice
VC
there.
text.
Yeah, I put it
In
in
the
VC
VC
text.
chat.
Like here
Well,
we're
this
talking
is
about
like
like his
the.
book.
Well, I'm here. I'm seeing something in the like chat of this VC, not like VC text. It was easy to. I kind of mixed that up when I said it.
Oh yeah,
Like
here we
the
were talking about Alan.
where is that?
Oh gee, you'll get a kick out of this.
Okay.
This was him describing Alan.
What? What are you talking about?
Look at what I put in VC text.
You too, bro.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Bro, the second image that I put in VC text.
I read it.
Yeah, that's describing Alan.
No, it's not. It's talking about Arshad.
I don't know what you're talking about, Ziggy.
Oh, the third screenshot. You mean? You sent 3.
Oh, I did send 3. Yeah, it's the third one, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, this Ziggy's on your ass, bro. He's like, don't make fun of Alan for that. You know, like you're no better.
No, I definitely am better. I
Yeah,
will
better
I
better
will
than
fight to
Alan.
the
Yeah.
I'll fight to the death on that.
But you did get caught using like a G-ism.
Probably when we were having our discussion about art.
But that's one thing. Alan, he's just stubborn. I've called him out on it so many times. No matter how many times I call him out on it, he'll just do it. But like it's a rare occurrence, right? It's not like in Zulu server where it's literally like encourage, parroting and stuff like that, right? Like in here, like if you're gonna start fucking spewing out like G-isms, bro, like you're gonna get like you're gonna get cooked.
I love that, dude. G-isms. Dude, I
Yeah,
thought that was so funny.
I'll be the one. I'll be the one doing the cooking, bro. Most of the time,
What are some examples of G-isms?
bro. I mean, just
Oh
search it
my
like.
god, look in the thread that we have, bro.
What do you mean? Title tracing?
Just
No,
look
no,
at
no,
look
no.
at anything like fucking Alan has said that like
Guess what
even
Alan is
like
saying?
it like even closely like resembles like it looks like he's trying to say something I've said before. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
Hmm.
it's like some what is it like the uncanny alley or what is it called?
Uncanny
Uncanny
Valley.
the uncanny valley, right? That's
Yeah.
what it kind of looks like. It's like he's just like it's like it kind of sounds like something G said, but it's like
It
it's like
it
not.
sounds like
It's
a
like it's
parody
like
of what
yeah,
you like. Yeah.
yeah. It's like it's the uncanny valley, bro. It's exactly like that.
I mean, like, bro, Alan literally talks like how I thought you talked when we first talked, and so it's like weird. It's like what?
Well, no, not even close. Like I don't know. I don't know. You can't even really make that comparison.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like
Like it's obvious that Alan, like he doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean?
well, I
And
was more so
I
coming
make
from
it
the standpoint
I
of
make it
like,
a point to like to know what you're talking about, right? And to not act like you know what you're talking about when you know you don't know what you're talking about, right? I make it a point to I make that a point, right? And I'm like I'm very like you know, humble is the word, I guess, but like you get what I'm saying, right?
I'm literally just saying that like whenever somebody first talks to you, it's gonna be natural that they are very confused.
Well, it's not my like it's I don't know what else I can do, bro. Like
I'm not saying
like
it's
I
your
said,
fault. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just
like I
saying that
try
that's
my
how it
best to like
is.
make sure they understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I always try my best, you know, to do that.
Right.
It's so funny to read some of Alan's messages, and you just see, you just wonder, like, for a second, is this the bot?
Yeah.
Message from the bot,
It's just a Hegel bot.
because he doesn't use any punctuation. So, like, all of his sentences are just completely run on. He's like allergic to punctuation from what I'm
I don't
reading.
know. I don't know, guys. I think if you do you guys have anything else to add? Because I think I'm gonna go. Unless you guys have anything else to add, like to close off, you know.
Well, I thought the conversation with pessimistic idealism was pretty good. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. What about the
Um.
other conversation? I forgot to ask. What about the other conversation we had the other day that you recorded?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I recorded it. I haven't uploaded it yet.
Yeah, you should upload it,
Oh, my phone's
but
gonna.
upload this one as a separate video, right? Upload them as separate, but upload both of these,
I will.
and then or remember to send the clip to to pessimistic ideas. Send that clip that I told you to send him.
Eh,
Yeah, don't forget, bro. Don't forget.
all right.
Yeah, sorry. You were closing. You were giving something to close.
Yeah, I thought the conversation with pessimistic idealism was pretty good. We'll see what happens with that. Um, I guess we'll sort the title. I guess we'll continue the title tracing stuff tomorrow or some other day.
Oh yeah, I think we got somewhere with that too. We got that was good. Made some progress, I think.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, I mean,
Everybody's leaving
the
now that I said like it's over. What do you think,
yeah.
Wayne? Is that it?
What do you think, Voyant?
He's done thinking, I guess.
I guess he fell asleep.
All right. See you guys. I'm gonna go now.
See ya.
Yep.